Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news and updates from SayIntentions. We're checking out the CSS 737-500 here in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Then, it's over to the TopMax Studios T7A Redhawk, a brand new aircraft in development. And we'll finish up with a checkout of Elevateex. Hello. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. It's time for the news. You're very welcome in. How he is? Died a very busy, productive day. Yes, as you can see. But, busy day now, right? Now, you need to keep me honest over on YouTube, lads, because I haven't a clue how it looks. Let me know if everything's still working the way it should be. I think I've finally finished and fixed the CPU issues on mid-thing. Look, I'm running now at about 5% CPU usage. Get up the yard! I spent many hours trying to figure out what might be wrong, and then I discovered something. I'm an idiot. So we'll see how it goes. Now, I'm thinking it's fixed. It may not be. So if anyone on YouTube, let me know, a 5x5, right? Or maybe, 1x7. But anyway, you're all very welcome in tonight. Yes, a busy one tonight. Not an awful lot in the news, right? There's a bit. But we'll check in with SayIntentions. I want to show you the checklist once again on how you can create your own, right? It's for their kind of partner members. But you can literally upload your own set of checklists and then, the AI will read them back to you. Very, very interesting stuff, right? What else do we have now? A380 is on YouTube as well. Grand, brilliant. And it should be 4K, I hope. We're also going to be checking out the CSS 737-5, the classic, or almost. And a bit of a turbulent start, this one. So I have it here. It's loaded in here beside me. There's a button, and we'll be taking this for an old blast here this evening to let you know what it's all about and, explain how do you buy it? I mean, do you subscribe to it? You pay a $5 a month, or, you have an annual charge, or you can buy it outright. We'll go down through each of those and, really look at what the aircraft is all about. What are you getting for your investment? Then, friends, we're checking out an old new aircraft from TopMax Studios. These guys brought us already some incredible aircraft, and the T-7A. This is a joint venture between Boeing and Saab. It was designed to replace the Talon, the T-38, and a very interesting machine, this. So we'll be checking that one out as well. And finally then, towards the end of the stream, it's Elevateex. It's a new kind of flight sim tracking software, similar to what you may have seen with the likes of Volanta or, Sim Toolkit Pro. We'll dive into it, see what it's all about. The great news is it's free. So, yes, we'll have an old gawk at that, right? So, may I do a little suggestion? Maybe show the watermark titles smaller and a bit longer and slower. Wait, what? Oh, the names of stuff. Oh yeah, we'll tweak all of that, don't worry. But anyway, how was your day? I was telling you lads, it's very proactive, you know. 4.5 CPU usage. This is usually up around 20. I'm telling you lads, right? Have I figured out this one just out for me yet? But yeah, busy day. I was out and about and doing stuff, and then back at the sim and got our exercise bike delivered yesterday. We got the mat delivered today. I built it with my bare hands. The mat, that is. I just rolled it out and, you know, brilliant, right? Got the man card stamped and everything. Oh, brilliant news, do you know? So, right, where are we at? We're over here, look. Don't buy it as not to support this. Wait, what? You don't buy it as to not support this of your purchase, if you want to call it that. Right, let's see what happens. Could be better. Jesus, lads, it's all happening now. So, anyway, we'll jump into the chat, see who's here, and we'll kind of get, you know, we'll get started, because I am looking forward to showing off this aircraft. The last time I flew an aircraft of this sort of neck of the woods, as in a classic 737, well, there were two offerings over an X-plane, right? You had the 727 from FlyJSim, excellent, and you also had then a 737-3, I think, or -4, the IXEG, a remarkable aircraft. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what this one does here now. But anyway, you're all very welcome in. Hello to CP65, welcome aboard, my guy. Vacuum is in the house. Chocks, welcome aboard. Super Typhon, feels hot, man. Jesus, 28 degrees, Super Ty. Open the window. Max Stallion's in the house. Fierce Wolf is here, looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome aboard. 98 Vulcan, good evening. Jan Morecambe, good evening. Are you still on your holidays? Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Wednesday to you. Mac Vision is here, subscribing for 10 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed for your support. Who else came in the door here? Look, Toto's in the house. Time to see what else is going to help empty our wallets. Eamon, top of the evening to you. APU Inspector, happy hump day. DeBlaze is here, welcome aboard. PH Roy, a very good evening to you. Nightsep, welcome on in, man. Malky Mac is here. Little Trader on a 40 stream streak, no less. Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you, buddy. Fornax is here. Good day, people. Finally, some happy news. Yes. Turn off all that utter rubbish now. You know, this is the 9 o'clock news, or this is the 6. You don't need to know what's going on in the world. It's still shagged, right? We'll come over here now. We'll talk about the things that are nice, you know, and don't involve. Well, they're nice, right? That's what we'll do. Sir Campsalot, very good evening to you. Hope all is well. Martin K is here. Bellbro, he says Monday, Tuesday, Newsday. Murph and Fireflies, get ready for the 19 Zulu Newsage. Good to see you, buddy. Balut is here, welcome in. Team is in the house. Max Stallion, 105 streams in a row. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Clipped Out Panda is here, hola. Purple Kona, welcome in. Old Veteran 965, well, very welcome in, Scott. We were doing some trucking last night. American trucks, it was great fun, and looking forward to doing more of it, really. Sunjammer is here. Hi all, will there be an on-time start or 20 seconds of talking about leaking Skodas? Listen now, the Skoda is running 100%. I got my new toll tag. I broke the other clip trying to take it off, and I can't take it off. My windscreen now has one toll tag complete with holder and one holder incomplete with the toll tag. It's shagged. I don't know how to fix it. A knife. But then I thought to myself, Janie, then, you know, if I... Right... It wouldn't end well. But anyway, Wicked Lumberjacks, breaking news. It's Wednesday, right? Commander Balosh, good to see him. Muse fan burst in the door with his face. Jesus. He says, how he is his man jokes is. Happy hump day. A Crote is here. Welcome aboard. Hi, Murph and Fireflies. Watching the news over on YouTube as it's more stable, as Twitch is pure twitchy on the telly. Be the Janie then. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Heisenberg is here. Good day to you, sir. Hope all is well with you. Hermit Something, good afternoon all. Breathing in all that fresh smoky air courtesy of Canada. Hope to have plenty of firefighting planned. Jesus, do we have fires in Canada, do we? Jesus. Right, we're over here now. Don't forget to like YouTube stream. Hey Crotty, thank you very much indeed. Tima says, I must say, I love the stream starting screen. Well, thank you very much. A lot of time goes into it. I just stare at it, you know. It work. Sometimes it scares me because I can see my own reflection. Do you know? Cyrus T is here. 80 streams in a row. Thank you very, very much indeed, Cyrus. The man of teal with new memory. Excellent. Right, Crafty Tigers, how are you? Swap21, hola. Viper Strike is here. Good evening, Murph and Fireflies. I had a wonderful day in Cove, visiting Blarney Castle and the gardens. Beautiful and well-kept area with lots of history. Welcome to Ireland. Hope you had a blast. New flashy intro. Yeah, we did a bit of messing on the intro. Thank you very much. Wicked Lumberjack says, tonight, Murphy breaks a thing. Murphy fixes a thing. Dan Murph says, Jesus. Brilliant. Sourdough Man is here. Good to see you. Rob MCR Tier 1 52 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Rob. Hope you're well, buddy. Mountain Man is here. FS Labs 321 CEO in 2024. Ooh. Yes, we'll be checking out the news here this evening. Biku is in the house. Good to see you. 7 in a row. Today is truly a lucky day in Ireland, says Viper. Thank you very much indeed for the 7 streams, man. The video from earlier turned out great and I didn't have any issues viewing it. Nice. I'm on YouTube as well. Oh, good man yourself. Toombs is here. Did you turn it off and turn it back on again? We did. Eamon 1973. So come on, Murph, tell us exactly what you've done. Well, Eamon, I've introduced you twice and that's about it. I haven't done anything. Well, no, I was productive. Productive, lads. Yes, that's what it is. Soaring AJ. AJH man, hope you're well. Who else come in here now? Let's see if CSS will give us anything or they will be labelled as crappy. Really? Let's see. Hang on. Let's see if they give us anything or they're going to be labelled as crappy. Yeah, there's all drama around these lads. We'll have a look though. TG Sims, good to see you. Creo, welcome aboard. Hemel is here. Who else come in the door now? Gibbo Ireland is in the chat. Welcome in, Gibbo. You're looking well. Energizer, evening all. Did I just miss the news on the new kitchen? Would you wished? Jesus. Where is this now? Did you also by chance receive the exercise bike? I did. It's showing. Window won't do much, but our AC is chugging. Nice. Zard is here. Happy Wednesday. Velo, good to see you. Where are we at now? Wills, 1985. Good to see you, Wills. This only means... Oh, wait. The only news is Murphy's news. Yeah. We should get a news flash. Right? Adam Controls. Good to see you, Adam. Hope you're well. Adam, what's... Streamage, man. It needs to happen. Where's this now? Story time, right? Schutz is here. Good to see you. AZ Blue Line, welcome aboard. Minecraft Slayer is here. 777 rambles in. Don't need anything else to empty me wallet. I have a wife, 11 guinea pigs, 2 dogs, and now 2 rabbits. A £538 outdoor rabbit hutch inbound. A rabbit hutch. Would you not let them run free or something? No, Jesus. Captain McManus. No, it's Captain Macamus. I nearly said McManus. Mr. McMahon. Macamus, you're very good to join us. I smell BS. I'll be in Ireland in 3 weeks from today, all the way from Texas to see Iron Maiden. Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. Iron Maiden are playing. That's right. Jesus. Now, from Texas, right? Not the same as a hot flash. No, wait, what? Where is this now? But Jesus, Murph. Stupidocracy, welcome aboard. Neo is here. Welcome in, everybody. Dennis C pressed a button on YouTube. Did you see what he did? The man is a legend. Come on over here now to this page. And we'll see who rambled in on YouTube. Very good evening to you. FlightSimExpo is here. Good to see you, Max. Visualize is here. Triforce Gamers, welcome them in. Uniform Goose. G'day, Goose. Hope you're well. Steve Stavros is here. Hope the retirement is going well, Murph. Enjoying all the streams. Seems like you're on day and night. Currently difficult to squeeze in any work. It's grand. Be brilliant. Paddy Outdoors is here. Good to see you, Paddy. How are you, man? Dave Cleary. Legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. He says, good evening, Murph. Monty is here. Welcome aboard. Who else come in the door? Mrs. TPHI, happy Wednesday. You don't buy it as not... Yeah, wait. You don't buy it as not... Yeah, I don't visualize. I'm lost on that. You need to know what computer trick you did to improve the performance. I don't know what I did. Well, I do know what I did. So on my streaming setup, you can't really see it, right? But I use this kind of multiple output gadget and it's all done locally. You can use other things like, Restream or whatever. This here is a plugin. And I don't know why there was 2 sources set up. And I don't know why it was using X264. It should have been using NVEC. But anyway, it now seems to be working. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Bob O'Driscoll, very good evening. Stevie B is here. Sunny Tenerife. Jeez, I'd love to go there. Stevie, hello, Two Tone. Keep the videos coming. Thank you very much indeed. Robert Harrison is here. Good to see you. Lost Trucker. Welcome in, buddy. Hope you're well. PGM is here. Feet wet. Good to see you. Magnus is in the house. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hope you're all keeping terribly, terribly well. Where is this now? Right. Greta. Jesus. Right. We'll get into it, will we? We'll turn off this switch here now. Look. And we'll come over to here. And this, friends, as I turn my microphone around, this here is the CSS 737-5, right? And we'll spend a bit of time with this after we cover the news. But anyone who's flown the IXEG one over an X-plane, it's similar in terms of it's a similar kind of age bracket of when the aircraft was operational, right? So we'll learn up a bit of the history. We'll also dive into some of the features of what you're going to get with this aircraft. And again, let's look at the whole pricing model around it, right? Just about a record and getting through the chat. I think we did all right, didn't we? We did all right. We'll see what happens though. It's early days yet, and I'll probably get, sidetracked and go off on a tangent. Dennis C, by the way, member for 3 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. He says, 28 degrees outside. I'm inside watching Murph on a 120-inch TV. 120 inches! Jesus. Brilliant. Where's this now? Goblin Zeus, good evening. Mr. Dan is here. Wait now. Mr. Dan, are you not on your holidays? He's supposed to be on his holidays, isn't he? Meet the Janie. Goblin Zeus, 52 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. 120 inches, Jesus. Zonorous is here. I hope you won't run into the same problems as Kenko did. He couldn't even make it out of San Francisco. Oh dear, what did he do? Well, to be fair, it's Kenko. He I did a Kenkoism once. I crashed on takeoff. Brilliant. When you come to Tenerife, I'll get you a nice cold pint. Nice. I was in Tenerife before, Steve. I was down in, we're staying between Los Cristianos and Los Americas, right? And you know the beach club, there's a now bar on the beach. I made an absolute savage of myself, lads. They weren't banana cocktails. They were just these big, massive yellow cocktails. They looked like banana. And I said, hey, give us one of them. And I tried one. And it tasted like Christmas. So I had many more. And then I got myself twisted. But it was grand, right? It was grand. I'm on my holidays, but after getting up at 5 a.m, I'm a bit knackered. Jesus. We need a picture of that 120-inch TV. Kenko was Kenko. His plane just went crazy right after takeoff. Started spinning. Jesus. Clipped out Panda. I had many more. No, I did. I made an absolute savage of myself. But Tenerife was gorgeous. We rented a car and we drove up to Mount Pieta. Right? And then I parked the car when we came back and the shagging thing got lifted by the cops lifted it. I parked in an area that it said, there was a big signpost with a car and it said 1100 and 1500. And I was like, oh, grand. So it's 1 o'clock. Parked the car, went in for a snooze and a shower, came back out and the shagging car was gone. Went into the concierge, right, in me Karen walk. Where's me car? Yeah, you're not allowed to park there between 11 and 3. What? Your signs? No, the sign says no parking between 11 and 3. Oh, Jesus. So I had to walk and spend money. I should have left it there. But anyway, see? Sidetracked. Anyway, what we're going to do, lads, we're going to pause the simulation. Hopefully this doesn't break it now. And we're going to go over and start with the news, right? So our news... Our news is brought to us tonight by the lovely people at MSFSaddons.com, to Vasco for all the work he does, to Callum and the lads at FS Elite, and to the lovely people at Threshold. That sounded very, didn't it? Right, I'd be good at this. Anyway, lads, first bit of news tonight. FlyByWire have been flat out updating not just the A380, but also their A321X. The A380 gets a fairly big update here. It's gone up to version 0.13.0. And of course, these are freeware. Great to see. In a flight simulation landscape dominated by commercial developers and the introduction of controversial business models, more on that later, the A380 by FlyByWire Simulations continues to stand out as something different. Not just because it's free, it's because of what it represents. This is a freeware aircraft and it's built by a massive collaborative of people, and it's class, right? It's class. Yeah, it's a huge machine. One Fly Air, good to see it. But anyway, the new version, the aircraft has reached another important milestone. The update doesn't necessarily introduce headline-grabbing features. What it is, it's more focused on systems, refinement, and also kind of bug fixes, right? So it's We'll see, right? First note on the visuals. We have the option now of a 4K or 8K. Now, everyone will say, ooh, I want 8K. However, if you're using DX12 or FrameGen, 4K is it's your only man. Right? That's the one you need to do. The 8K one, probably better for DX11. And they even say it here, FlyByWire actually recommend it. Hey, if you're using the 8K version, and the reason for this, whatever way they're messing around with the VRAM, right? They want it on DX11, so that's how they're managing to do it, right? But some of the pictures that we have here, recalibrated initial fuel settings, tuned the wind flex, engine and flight model have been improved, more realistic GPU handling, improved aircraft presets, and a whole load of stuff seems to be up and running. So we'll start off with the FCU, the flight control unit. It now behaves a lot more like the real world aircraft. For example, push the baro knob for standard, pull the baro, simple and accurate. And the team have also added in a metric altitude button, better QNH and altitude display during light tests, and an automatic LS selection when arming LOC mode. Question for you, what does LS stand for? There's a question. Scary Wolf, good to see you. In a box, man, welcome aboard. LS, you often see it, right? Yes, there will be many answers. Who knows if you'll get it right? We'll come back to that. What does LS stand for in Airbus jargon, right? Anyway, meanwhile, the EFB also had a couple of controls into smarter places. Cabin lighting now lives in the quick settings menu. A pop-up telex consent step prevents unintentional messages. Door logic has been fixed, and there's a bit of stuff. Left side, yeah, left side. That Crafty Tigers wins the prize. The FMS and the autopilot also seen a bit of work, and there's also better handling for the approach and also top of descent predictions. Layout bugs on the perf and takeoff page have also been cleaned up, and a new ATC Com Connect page brings the aircraft closer to realistic data link integration, right? So light snacks. So a lot of people think LS means landing system. Which I would argue, well, it is. It used to be localizer stability or something. Or no, it's actually according to a handbook I read, the LS was down as a localizer scale, I think. Right? Here's something you might know. Localizer scale, I believe, is the correct terminology for it. But pilots included, they just call it landing system. But if you want to get I'm wearing glasses and an anorak, I do believe it's called localizer scale. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. But there was this one time I thought it was wrong, but it turned out, right. Moving on, Murph. Other things we can see, there's now simulation rate up to 4 times have been improved, which is good news for the long haulers who don't have time for the long hauls. Visually, the A380 continues to be refined. Latest wing flex adjustments give the Giant a bit more natural movement. New cockpit bounce lights, also a working logo light has been added. Systems depth expands. So one of the more interesting things in the update is the expansion of the failure simulation. So rudder trim behavior now includes SECs, pressurization failures, and now display proper ECAM messages. The FADEC logic has also been refined as well. And there's also been performance put in here. Targets performance and the UX. Memory leaks have been cleaned up. The ND terrain mode no longer tanks your frame rates. And surprisingly, long list of bugs fixes touches nearly every subsystem from the EFB all the way down to the MFD. So great news here. And full changelog is available over on the FlyByWire website. You can pick it up through the FlyByWire installer. And it's great news for the A380. When they launched this thing, I mean, look, they said, hey, this is going to be heavy on frames and whatnot. And it is working in 24 as well. How good it is, I don't know. Goblin says, LS button to display the ILS localizer and glide slope on the primary display. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, line select, says Cy Murray. No, I think it's localizer scale. I'm telling you, you mightn't find it on Google. You have to go digging through an Airbus manual and I think you'll find it. But anyway, great news there. You Googled it. Line select. I don't think so. Google's wrong on that. Line select. It used to be localizer scale. But anyway, we move on. If it's on Google, it must be true. Just Flight, did you hear this news? Just Flight previewing the 2024 update for their PA38 Tomahawk, or, the Tomahawk. Just Flight keeping momentum going with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, a fresh announcement that'll catch the attention of the general aviation simmers. The P38 Tomahawk is next in line to receive the native treatment, right? Wait, now, Cy Murray has gone bananas here, look. In Airbus, it stands for landing system or line select key. It's used to display the ILS. Line select key. Never heard of line select. LSK is line select key. Come on, Malky Malk. There. Quick, there's a virtual battle going on. A game of chess, perhaps. But anyway, the Tomahawk, this is great news. I've been missing this aircraft in 2024, right? All that matters is the LS switch was invented by the Irish. Crafty Tigers knows its history, man. Just Flight shared a short teaser accompanied by a new batch of the InSim screenshots. That was over on their Facebook page. And it follows the recent updates to the Arrow fleet and that of the Warrior as well. The Tomahawk update will be free for existing owners, continuing the company's approach. And there'll possibly be a reduction as well to potential new owners of this aircraft as well. The Tomahawk, it's a beautiful airplane, the Piper PA-38. It's quite slow, right? It'd be kind of 152, 172, or 152, I suppose, direct competition of the time for training aircraft. A lot of these are used for training. Hence the name Tomahawk, right? They have a fierce tendency to put them into a spin, but a beautiful aircraft from Just Flight. It's one of their best general aviation aircraft. So we don't have any details regarding the release date, but we know Just Flight don't spend too long when they start giving us information about updates. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing the Tomahawk in Flight Sim 2024. Kevin Byrne says LS stands for landing system. 10 years, lads, there's going to be murder over this, right? Is it landing system or localizers? Or localizers. What did I say? Localizer scale. I'm telling you, there'll be great crack at this now. Right, Beechcraft Starship. Now, we all know the Black Square are bringing their beach Starship in, and they released a little video there the other day. But this is absolutely gorgeous looking. I'm mad to fly this. It's a very interesting looking aircraft, and it looks like Black Square have gone to incredible lengths, right? A major milestone for turboprop fans in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's a matter of weeks away. They said they're going to release this in June. The Beechcraft Starship will release in June for both 2020 and 2024. Nick Kazansky and Just Flight will be present to showcase the aircraft at FlightSimExpo. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It might be just one of the most spectacular add-on aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's landing system, and that's from Airbus, says Kevin Byrne. See, wars have been started for less, lads. The announcement marks the culmination of a 3-year development effort by Kazansky as the Passion Project, one that included extensive collaboration with current Starship owners, and that collaboration resulted in unique access to the aircraft, enabling an in-depth recordings, cockpit operation, and reference photography. According to the developer, while thousands of pages of documentation were available, hands-on experience with the actual aircraft played a critical role in shaping the final product. Now, what I'm excited about here is, lads, when you have someone like Nick, and I've met Nick at FlightSimExpo, and it was mad because we were chatting away, and like it felt as if I was back in the sim, you know, going through a tutorial, you know, like his videos. He releases videos on tutorials and how to work the aircraft. These guys have made some absolutely stunning airplanes, and you can, for me, you know, they're kind of tipping their cap at A2A because, you know, they follow the EFB, they have the engine visualizers, so you can see where a lot of inspiration came from. However, this thing just looks insanely good, right? Lisa Simpson. A systems-rich Starship built from the real-world reference. Black Square's Starship promises to be much more than just another aircraft add-on. Right? It's being pitched as one of the most technically ambitious aircraft simulations ever built for Microsoft Flight Sim. The included user manual in itself, a masterful piece of work. It's now publicly available, spans over 190 pages, and it outlines an array of complex systems. If you want to have a look at that manual, lads, there's a PDF being shared in the chat, but that's the manual. If you want to go off now and get your homework done, look at the absolute state. 190 pages though, look. Bloody hell. Look at that. Look at all the systems, look. Jesus. Looking forward to this. That's in the chat there if you want to grab it. We'll be asking questions later. Wait, what? We'll be asking questions later. Who? I can't confirm the Airbus CEO stands for lobster soup. Nutty Slack is here. Good to see you. Anyway, the aircraft's going to include a full simulation of the rare Collins AMS 850 14-inch tube CRT avionics suite, over 230 potential failures, simulated avionics cooling system with overheating leading to display shutdowns, cabin environmental controls, which include temperature, pressurization and oxygen, VLF and Omega radio nav systems, pre-GPS systems, or navigation, sophisticated electrical system with 170 plus functional circuit breakers, a tablet interface that manages the payload, failures, and also real-time system visualizers, accurate engine modeling, including hot starts, surging, and compressor stalls, and support for modern navigation via an optional Garmin GNS 430 integration. Look at some of the pictures here now. This looks absolutely insane, doesn't it? And this aircraft can haul ass. Like, this thing would be comfortable at around, 220, 230 knots. It can move, right? Just beautiful. It looks absolutely gorgeous, I have to say. And I'm mad about that kind of style. When they built the aircraft, I mean, it's borderline steam gauge into the modern glass age. Look at the lighting there, look. And the details with reflections. And it's just, it looks incredible. Really, really looking forward to getting to fly this and figuring out what it's all about. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Cloud Strider, good to see you. Zybot calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, like, I mean, if this is not on your radar, like, it needs to get on your radar. It looks incredible, right? The Starship system simulation includes state-saving, hardware-based failures, logic-driven system dependencies, bringing Microsoft Flight Sim aircraft more in line with the sort of fidelity found in professional-level training devices. The upcoming release will be the first Black Square aircraft updated for 2024, with Nick noting that adapting to the new sim has not been straightforward. Several platform-level changes, especially around the lighting, the LOD handling, and also default payload interfaces, have all required significant rework, right? Despite the technical hurdles, the aircraft will take advantage of several of the new Flight Sim 24 capabilities, including improved walk-around and collision detection features, while not using Asobo's new native walk-around UI, which relies on blue highlights. The Starship implements its own more intricate system with interactive elements like pitot covers, engine covers, and cabin doors that respond to environment and user input. Right? Drumma is here. Good to see you. 338 knots actually, but due to weight tanks to it, the FAA would have done 352. Jesus, really? That's awesome. So yeah, look at all aircraft from Black Square are in the process of getting adapted to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, requiring the creation of some 200 LOD models. Right, so the updates are planned for release in the months following the Starship launch. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, this is the most recent one. Now there's tunage on this, so I'll have to play my own, right? Well, we have to watch this, lads, because it's absolutely friggin' gorgeous, right? Will this work? Yeah, this will work. Right, check it out, lads. Like, do you know what I mean? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And yes, it has working windscreen wipers. Very much GTA 6, right? Fantastic. Stick figure, thank you very much indeed, you absolute ledge. thought the Starship was an experimental plane. I'm not quite sure. It has a JAX. Oh, does it? How many screens? Many screens. Brabus is here. Good to see you, buddy. Proby Pete, a very good afternoon to you. Checking in from Arizona. Good to see you. Flying tonight. Welcome aboard. Cheers, you're very good for joining us. Anyway, that is the Starship. I'm crossing my fingers, toes, arms, ears, legs, eyes. Jesus, then fingers, you name it, lads. We're right. I'm mad to get my hands on this thing, and it looks superb. It's a most unusual aircraft, and like, put it this way: the TBM, any of the 2020 analog updates, the Dukes, right? All exceptional black square aircraft, and like Nick has already put out a very, very ambitious roadmap. A very ambitious roadmap of the aircraft he wants to bring into Flight Sim 24. This is very exciting. I cannot wait to see this aircraft in there. Most unusual and Beechcraft, right? No, it's not your conventional beach. So great news there. Now, we did showcase this aircraft already. It is that from QuikFlight, the Apache style Hunter. Brings missions and firepower to Microsoft Flight Sim. I gotta say, I was very pleasantly surprised by this add-on. I spent some time in it. You know, we went off shooting and blowing things up and got shot at and took damage. I think what QuikFlight have managed to kind of do here, they've made an exceptional helicopter. That's just no issues at all. It's a great chopper just to fly around. The sounds are incredible. Echo 19 is behind those, and the textures and the look of the aircraft, even how it handles, is actually quite nice. But I think where they really excelled here is on the capabilities of. It's kind of like a snapshot into the future of what is possible inside our flight sims, and this is all to do with, you know, missions and combat if you want it, and, you know, spawning in you know, vehicles or targets, right, that your radar can track, and, you know, weapons firing is there, and there's a lot on this. Hellfire missiles, we got rockets, we have, you know, the cannon on the front, and it's just how they managed, how much of a workaround in order to get all this stuff working. I think it's incredible, right? Now, the same kind of headaches go to any developer, because when it comes to multiplayer, it's either an oversight or just they don't have, you know, they don't have a proper platform in which to test multiplayer. So if you fly these things in multiplayer, you'll see a model pilot, you know, standing straight out in front of everyone else. It's like, how did they miss that? But obviously, they're not able to train or test, rather. They can't really test in a multiplayer environment until the thing comes out, right? So, yeah, I was very surprised and impressed by what QuikFlight have done here, considering their previous aircraft, which were nice and all, but, like, they're only okay from my regard. This is quite exceptional. Do you know? Energizer, good to see it. Your dad once saw a Starship land in Florida. Oh, nice. Hazak, good to see you, buddy. So happy the Starship is coming. Yes, man. Yes. Northern Air, good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. No, Starship was a production aircraft. Wonder how much they cost. Great question. Anyway, just days after it was first announced, the Hunter became available. As I said, I got to mess around with it. What I love about this is it can take damage as well. And they can, like, whatever way they've managed to make it work, you can visually see the damage on your aircraft, bullet holes, cracked glass, all that sort of stuff. And it even impacts on the aircraft systems. Various systems actually shut down. And to think of, you can only imagine what it must have been like, you know, QuikFlight sitting around a table. IniBuilds were there because they publish it, and they're saying, how are we going to make this work? I'd love to see that blackboard, because they'd be like, box, arrow, equals yes or no. No, right, come down here. Do you know what I mean? Savage. Hudson, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So, if you don't already have the Hunter, it's a lot of fun. Now, it might get a little bit repetitive. You know, you can have, you know, there's cars like, you know, a pickup truck with a 0.5 in the back of it, technical. There's tanks, right? I think there's APCs in it as well. And they also have small craft, as in boats, right? It might get a little bit repetitive. It'll be interesting to see kind of where it goes, right? It's great to see this level of ingenuity, though, coming into Flight Sim, because, you know, when you look at an aircraft like this, I think the best gig in town for realism to an Apache, or at least the AH-64, which is the same, it's got to be DCS, isn't it? I mean, that thing is systems implementation, the weapon systems, everything about the Apache, I think, on DCS is just like, wow, you know, it's one of those aircraft. But it's great to see this in Flight Sim. Because it's the sort of aircraft, yeah, I mean, look, you can jump in and have a bit of crack, but it's also a great machine for, air show enthusiasts or just folks going for a flight, But yeah, really, really great stuff. It is available. You can pick it up through IniBuilds. I had a lot of fun flying this on the stream there last week, and it's just a cool machine, man. It's like the Apache is a standout aircraft, so they had to obviously call it Hunter for obvious reasons. Who is it? Hughes, Boeing, and someone else, Douglas, I think, owned this. So yeah, looks pretty cool. It's the features which is amazing, absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? It looks like the Piaggio got inspired by the Starship. Oh, really? Gramer Dim just joined Murph. What does the look like now? The IH8, huh? What does it look like now? What does what look like? But yeah, anyway, that's the Hunter. Highly recommended this one, and the price of it is fantastic as well. It's like $19.99 ex-VAT, so it's about $25. Lots of fun, and it's a great looking chopper as well. So moving on, an aircraft we're checking out tonight, the Boeing 737-5 Classic by CSS has been released. It has a subscription or a lifetime purchase option, right? So Commercial Simulation Systems finally released their 737-5. The launch went live the other day, marking the first entry into what CSS promises will become a comprehensive 737 family. And this is the important thing to kind of remember, right? Eventually, the Dash 3 and the Dash 4, including freighters with support to 2024, are all going to be included in this pricing structure, right? Visualize, I was trying to say this type of purchase subscription monthly charge or yearly rental charge shouldn't be supported, or this could become a standard price too high. You're raising a very good point, but I gotta say, right, you can do the following, right? A unique subscription-based licensing model that gives simmers flexible purchase options. So let's talk about this just for a moment, right? It's $5 for 30 days access. So they grant you a license based on their servers. You can't fly the aircraft unless it authenticates with their server, right? You have a little app running in the background. $5 gives you access for 30 days. $50 gives you access for 1 year. $120 buys it outright. Now, here's the thing. Here's my opinion on it. I think the $5 for 3 days or for 30 days, I've no issue with that at all. It's a $5 and you get 30 days. Very much in line with kind of what Microsoft are doing, renting the aircraft. I'm okay with that. I'd rather, have the option to spend a $5 to try an add-on, right? Before I go off and I spend, 50, 60, 70, or even $100 on an add-on, only to realize it's not quite there yet. The $50 for 1 year, I'm not sure. And the reason why I'm not sure is because, well, okay, if you're going to get the use out of that, well, it's probably 50 quid, well spent. But then they have this $120 for a permanent license. They're selling you the top end price for one aircraft because the other ones aren't available just now. I think what should have happened, definitely the $5 for 30 days and then $50 for that particular 737. Then if you wanted to upgrade further after that, if you wanted the freighters, if you wanted the, the Dash 3 or the Dash 4, well, maybe that's a separate price you pay on top of your 50 quid when they release it. The fact of the matter is they've put this price to own it outright before they've released the other aircraft. That's where it comes a little bit, Jesus. So give me $120 and you can have this one plane, but I will give you all this other stuff over here. No, thanks, but no thanks. $5 for 30 days, I have no issue with that. In fact, I welcome that. I think that's a good idea because try it, right? I think the $50, or even if it was $60 to buy the aircraft outright, that particular variant, that'd be okay. But I'd argue against that price tag. But $120 for a permanent license, and we haven't seen the other aircraft yet. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the thing, Malky. We don't know this developer. There is a big if that they're going to release these other aircraft. What if the team, for whatever reason, decide, yeah, we're not working together anymore? That could happen. We've seen it happen. It happens all the time in flight sim. What do we do then? Well, we spent our $120. Yeah, thanks. Now. So a little bit kind of mad, right? A little bit mad. But anyway, my job is to show off the aircraft. I've rented it for $5 for 30 days. and you'll get my feedback based on what I've spent doing with the aircraft thus far, and that's all coming up now in a few moments. The feature list is quite impressive. This is their first aircraft that they've brought out. And the package includes the 737-5. It's a passenger variant, and the focus is on the accuracy of systems depth and also the classic 1990s era operations. It includes an FMC version 5, which has your DME and navigation. There's no GPS. Fully implemented LNAV, VNAV with Autoland, right? Custom EFB with Navigraph and SimBrief integration, performance calculators, and also an aircraft configuration. Weather and terrain radar with working wipers and simulated icing. They've their own icing model in there. Authentic cockpit textures, sounds, and flight dynamics tested by real pilots. There's also a built-in GSX configuration file installed automatically, though full GSX loading integration will be added in a future update. A word of caution for first-time users. The aircraft must be started from a cold and dark state, and no failure system is present at this stage. Though CSS say almost every component down to the burnt cabin bulbs is planned to be a failable option in the future. Kind of similar. We were looking at SWS there last week, and Alex was on talking about the Airvan. And the Airvan, in its standard state, is going to release for this price. If you want an expansion of this aircraft, i.e. the failures, right? You want failures on the aircraft and the persistent state of wear and tear, they're going to sell you that as an added extra. Now, I don't really know how I feel about that because, well, just put it into the one product. They did the same with the PC-12. It's like, well, listen, your competition, and this is real, your competition is putting all these things in as they are. You know what I mean? Just make the aircraft complete. Charge a few quid more for it, but make it complete. But then again, they've clearly identified not every user wants them. They don't want all these failures. And that's kind of where we're at when it comes to some of the consumer base in Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? In particular, when you consider some of the Xbox pilots who may not have the peripherals to be able to interact with these failures. They may not be able to follow the procedure to fix the failures purely down to the lack of control over the aircraft. I mean, they've got a controller for crying out loud. Some, not all, right? Others have incredible setups. Joysticks, yokes, rudder pedals, you name it. But others, they're going to be under pressure, right? So I'd rather a bit of variation, and I can get a lot for that for 120. Yeah, 100%. Sounds like a dodgy move, says Huddleston. G Slayer, good to see you. Shuts, it's bollocks, he says. All the stuff is standard, let's be honest. Could be. Red Flag, says CP. There's a lot of it's planned for future with this, but it's being sold as a fully feature-complete priced package. Energizer, 100%. Gibba says, who needs failures? Just fly with Murph to break your plane. Right. Gibba, we need to do another shared cockpit soon. I'm just saying, right? What could we break? CSS is offering a product with a subscription model of a service that they don't even know what their own thing is. Yeah, well, look at it's... Well, I don't know. Like I've a little bit of a gripe with the overall top price of $120 because we don't know the other aircraft. We haven't seen the other aircraft. We have no time scales, and it's all hey, give us all this money, and sure we'll give you these when we're ready. No, like it's what I mean. But anyway, I digress. According to CSS, the development roadmap includes bi-weekly updates to address bugs and expand functionality. Now, let's be fair to them. This aircraft has just released. They tried to do a soft release with a couple of streamers. Didn't turn out terribly well. They brought it back to the virtual hangar, fixed a couple of issues, pushed it back out to some content creators, mainly the airliner guys. Wasn't bad, right? It wasn't bad. It was better, but still not fully there. So let's give them a little bit of time here to kind of figure this out. But anyway, they're saying bi-weekly updates to address bugs, expand its functionality, continued refinement of systems like VNAV and auto throttle, further EFB features and avionics enhancements, further releases of the 73-3 and 4, including the freighter variants, with release timelines expected to be now announced in mid-June, internal testing for 2024 compatibility, which will begin immediately post-release. So it's a 2020 aircraft right now. Despite the early hiccups and a 2-week delay to fix some last-minute issues spotted, demand at launch appears to be strong. Minutes after release, CSS reported near maximum server load. They had a bit of an issue. A lot of people were interested. And I think this is where that $5 comes in. You know what I mean? Fonz, if you type !, how to multiplayer, all one word, that'll send you a link to a video and tell you how to do our group fights. Steve Barker says, paying $120 up front for a new dev for variants that haven't yet been created is a non-starter for me. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I don't know what to expect. We don't know them, right? We just don't know them. I haven't got a clue. Hudson, it's Intel Core i6. Wait, what now? What's Hudson saying? Dan says, I'm all for options of failures, but wouldn't you think they would implement them and then let the user choose to have them on or not? Dan, I'm kind of the same, right? Anyway, the project that sits somewhere between passion and experimentation, both in terms of aircraft complexity and how it's being sold. So anyway, in a couple of moments, I'm going to show you this aircraft, and we're going to view it in the line of, it cost me $5. I have access for 30 days. If I wanted access for an entire year, it'd cost me $50. If I bought it outright, knowing that there's more and more of the variant coming with extra features, it would have been $120. So we'll have a look here now in a moment. Now, moving on, Carenado, a bit of news of this. They have teased the Cessna T210 Turbo. Say that very fast. It's the Centurion 2, I believe, is this make, right? But anyway, Carenado, they don't tend to beat around the bush too much. They usually give you a couple of weeks lead in time. The Centurion, last time I saw this aircraft was over in X-Plane. It's the first time they're bringing this to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm looking forward to this one. It's a great machine. No release date, feature list. Let's be fair, not going to have many features. It's just a clean image of a T210 flying in dusk. While Carenado has a long history of developing Cessna 210s, including turbo variants, this will mark the first appearance of the Centurion in Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, Carenado have been doing pretty well. I mean, we've seen the likes of their, the 182, the retractable 182. We've seen the F-33, the Mooney, of course, which lives on. They're making nice aircraft, right? Not to mention the aircraft they make for Microsoft as a first-party developer. The T210 variant, known for the turbocharged Continental TSIO, retractable gear, higher cruise speeds than most of the fixed gear singles, making it a step up for simmers looking to cover more distance and altitude. If the release follows Carenado's recent pattern, we'll likely expect a mix of visual fidelity, multiple liveries, and a tablet-based customization. In saying that, Carenado have turned a direction I'm not necessarily happy about. Carenado have now put some of their features into the Microsoft EFB. I preferred Carenado's. I like to see a different tablet. Here's my menus. You know what I mean? I can just open that door, remove the tie downs, plug in a GPU, open this door. I want this avionics in there. Show me some checklists. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's just my own thoughts. But anyway, let's see what happens. Anyway, great looking machine. So looking forward to this. Carenado have made some really nice aircraft. I think my favourite still in 2024 is their the retractable 182. I think it was a great bit of plane, great bit of stuff. Now, FS Labs are hot off the shelf, lads. So I only mentioned this the other day. I want to fly this on our VATSIM flights. FS Labs have updated their A321 for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 compatibility, plus it has new features. Flight Sim Labs have released a new update that's going to bring the A321 CEO aircraft over to Flight Sim 2024, but they're also talking about bringing in new features. Various system-level improvements such as bug fixes, performance optimizations and refinements, overall stability, reliability and operational realism. Ooh. So it's a compatibility patch that's coming with 2024 to get the aircraft up and running, and you'll need the latest Sim Update 2 build in order for it to function. So it's not working on Sim Update 3, right? I need to probably give this a blast. The cockpit and engine sound upgrades, flight performance model also being checked. Significant improvements have been made to the cockpit and engine soundscape throughout the A321 fleet, enhancing the immersive audio. The update also brings a major overhaul to the aircraft's roll behaviour following detailed analysis and pilot feedback. What was that? There's noises in my house. Jesus! What's that? Jesus, the missus. She's out hoovering and didn't know what was going on. We're under attack! Tommy, will you cover the upstairs? We haven't got an upstairs. Anyway, the update brings a major overhaul to the aircraft's roll behaviour. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Runway overrun prevention systems, or ROPS. A notable addition is the ROPS system, advanced safety feature developed by Airbus, and runway overrun warning. and also the runway overrun protection added to the fleet. And there's also some other changes and bug fixes. The FS Labs A321, it's available for $69.95. Now, I think most of the competition here, it just points back to Phoenix, doesn't it? I mean, it just does. In saying that, though, I have this aircraft and I'm very happy with it. I just think the competition is a little bit too loud to kind of sway you from Phoenix to go to this. You know what I mean? In saying that, I'm very much looking forward to trying this aircraft in 2024. And the change logs here, you can see there's an awful lot. Aircon, APU updates, ATSU been updated, CPC, effects, so on and so forth, right? Position fixes there on the flaps, sounds, various updates, transponder. There's a lot of stuff going on in this, right? Yeah, the Phoenix is so good. The Phoenix is awesome. Phoenix is awesome. But I bought the FS Lab, so I'm looking forward to this update. Let's see how it handles. And it's definitely an aircraft I'll take for a spin soon on a Thursday night. Yeah, it was also teased that the next engine option, next generation engine option is coming soon as well. That's the Neo, right? So let me see now. The Arctic Pepper says, just flew a flight on VATSIM with the new FSL update this morning. Very enjoyable in FlightSim 24. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, looking forward to this one. So now, IniBuilds work continues over there on the A350, adding the auto derotate and printer to the aircraft. IniBuilds have been steadily updating their popular A350. The developer has addressed some of the issues after launch, also adding numerous features, and the latest update, version 1011, adds yet more functionality to the Airbus. First up is a new feature called Auto Derotation. It's a feature on the A350 that helps manage pitch down movement during the landing. After the aircraft has detected touchdown on the main gear, the aircraft will bring the nose wheel down at a predefined rate. Stops you slamming the nose gear. But the pilot can still override this with manual input if needed. The machines are taking over, lads. That's a class picture. Look at that. I love that Japan Airlines. Isn't it gorgeous, right? We're looking good here. The update also includes enhanced GPS jamming, which now features geo-specific jamming based on real-world areas. GPS jamming can impact navigation systems, ADS-B reporting, and also FMS position data. A cockpit printer is now available in the IniBuilds A350 airliner. You can create in-sim printouts of takeoff data, your flight plan, METAR, mailbox, all the jazz, right? Wasn't it FlyByWire that gave us the first one of those? This update contains a few more features. The aircraft now integrates with the simulator to send and receive the flight plan to and from the sim. The aircraft now has window condensation based on weather conditions. Unfortunately, these features are only available for flights in 2024, but is not limited to the latest iteration. Some of the new eCams that IniBuilds have created for the aircraft. Now, some users are saying there's a little bit of FPS issues with this, right? But others have said no, it's actually getting better. The changelog has to be said, lads. This is impressive. Look at all the fixes. Look, like that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. So IniBuilds absolutely, full steam ahead. They're showing you the kind of the condensation here on the glass. See that at the side? Look, it's very subtle, but man, alive, looks good. Look at that there. Can you see that? I can't zoom in anymore. I can look. In behind my mallet head, look at the condensation, lads. That's where we're going now. Great work from IniBuilds. Now, moving on, FS Dream Team released GSX update, adding some new vehicles, regional license plates, and also support for PMDG's 777, right? So FS Dream Team have rolled out a new and fairly substantial update to GSX Pro and the core GSX program. The update brings with it general improvements, regional visual upgrades, compatibility updates, and a lot more. The version also marks a major technical shift as the software now runs entirely in a stackless Python 3 code base, which paves the way for future performance enhancements and also flexibility. In addition, GSX Pro users will get the new Cobus 3000 model, along with buses and catering trucks showing localized license plates depending on the nationality and even individual United States. Passengers will now appear if selected for the 777-2, and developers now have access to even more variables, right? Derp Diz, I'm good to see you. Is anyone having CTDs with the latest Sim Update 3? Ooh. Can't say that I'm not using it, so I can't say that I am. Maybe someone in the chat can help you though, lads. Anyone on Sim Update 3 getting CTDs with vPilot? There's also a host of other bug fixes as seen in the changelog below. FS Dream Team say this new version brings with it much more stability and reduces slowdown. I'm not going to count me chickens yet, but I have noticed a little bit better performance since installing this update on GSX. A fairly massive update here, look. So great news there for GSX. It's a program when it works, it's really, really good. When it doesn't work, it is the most infuriating add-on. It's like, why isn't this working? Menus loading, disappearing, you know, people pushing back your plane and you end up doing friggin' yucky boos. You know what I mean? So great news that they're working on it. Now, as we mentioned, the 777, PMDG faces turbulence with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So, Robert Randazzo, his words would be done in Captain's PA voice if that was possible. PMDG experienced another unexpected turbulence affecting the progress of the projects for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. They hit a new roadblock during the marketplace submission. Basically, it was something to do with an error in the naming convention for the 777 product line. This error is present in all of their products and will have to be addressed as it affects product placement and the relationship between 2020 and 2024 product versions within the marketplace's ecosystem and their own operations center. So this is either caused, well, I doubt it was caused by PMDG because we just wouldn't have heard about it, right? Gibbo's flat out. Man, Gibbo. I think if PMDG caused this issue themselves, they probably wouldn't have said much. So I imagine this is an Asobo thing, and PMDG were like, for God's, why is this happening? Why is breaking stuff? I imagine, right? But the bad issue, or the sad news about this, well, it delays aircraft getting onto the marketplace, and it also means that our freighter, the 777 freighter, and also the 777-3 are also delayed. Right. Not only that, it's also delayed the beta testing for these aircraft because they need to go off and fix something else. The DC-6 should be entering testing within a few days, which is great news. You know, it seems to be working just fine with Sim Update 2, have to say. Oh, wait now. In his latest VOD, Randazzo said Asobo told him back in December, but he overlooked it. It is a PMDG issue. Jesus. That's me putting me place. Man, Gibbo. Yeah, it's great to see the DC-6 coming, but yeah, be careful what I sound, right? Now, Gibbo has corrected the correctness. He was told, PMDG were told back in December, and they didn't do anything with it. And then they went forward and released it anyway. PMDG and product delays, mild shock, just mild. But the DC-6, anyway, it's running fine in Sim Update 2. The 737 update project was the topic of their weekly all-hands meeting. They've mapped out the work required to bring the product line into 2024. They have frozen the product scope, and the schedule is based on the remainder of the work required. Basically, once the 777 is sorted, then they'll return to the 737. So there's no sign of life coming for the 737s just yet. And I don't think they're even going to be native aircraft. It could be, but I'm not really sure. So, yeah, if you're waiting to get your 777 into Flight Sim 2024, or at least on the marketplace, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to see what happens. I know the, what one, is it the freighter that's gone in there now? I think it's the freighter gone in there now, isn't it? Hang on, let's have a look. Which one do I have loaded in? Yeah, the 777 freighter is working in Flight Sim 2024, but marketplace owners, no. You know, I reckon it's probably an issue with the portability. They used the 2020 SDK to compile a working 24 version rather than native. Aha. The 200 ER and the F are in 2024. Yeah. All right. Makes sense. Right. There we go. So PMDG are to blame. They've created their own turbulence. What do you feel about that? What do you think about that? Anyway, moving on. FlightSimExpo. We had the full exhibitor list, and absent is Microsoft, which I thought is nuts. But anyway, a few weeks to go before FlightSimExpo kicks off in Providence, Rhode Island. Rhode Island, we can see now all the vendors that are going to be there. And the list is friggin' huge, right? And I think the space, you know, that they were waiting on for like Microsoft to take over, it's very much now Moza, Thrustmaster, and Meridian are in there. And who else do we have now? Actually, here's a great question. Who are you looking forward to most at FlightSimExpo. I mean, who is the developer you want to kind of get in front of? We've seen it with Flight Sim Weekend. I mean, the entire event was dominated by the hardware producers. And looking at the floor plan here, Meridian, right? That's Nikki showing off all the stuff. Thrustmaster, of course, Moza, right? So there's 3 massive hardware developers. Yawman are in there. PMDG have a booth. That'll be interesting. SayIntentions, of course, will be there. Desktop Pilot will be there. Orbex, Corsair, Miltech, right? FlightSim.com. IniBuilds are going to be there. WinWing are going to be there. Nightsep, thank you very much indeed for the gifted sub to Mr. 90. What a ledge. Cheers, buddy. Looking forward to seeing you and Robert talk, Murph. Right? Thanks, Gibbo. Yeah, Jesus, we'll have to like script that or something, you know. I've lost all faith in PMDG. Yeah, the products are great, but the amount of drama that comes along with them is off the charts, says Muse fan. Yeah. Meridian, yeah. WinWing for sure. Meridian and Verpal. Miltech, to be honest, are doing some great stuff. Yeah. Will there be live stream of Expo? Yes. Dad game time. Yes, we'll be streaming the bejesus out of it. It looks as though PMDG have been to the TwoToneMurphy School for Aegis, right? Actually, all hardware. Where's the bar, right? Captain Canada, good to see you, buddy. I want to see you. There will be pints, Kyle. There's a Murphy's bar out the road. Well, it's not even far, right? If it was raining outside, you wouldn't even get your hair wet. It's straight out the door. There will be pints, buddy. Brilliant. WinWing, yeah. Like, so, as I said, at FS Weekend, there was just lots and lots of hardware. And it's cool looking at the hardware stuff, right? It just is. But, let me see, who's this one now? Parallel 42. They have a massive area because they also have like their diamond sponsors. So like they have like a dev area, right? Honeycomb. That was interesting. They were put far away from the other crowd. Navigraph will be there. Doff Reality will be there. Who else? Soulfly are going to be there. Really looking forward to getting over to the online ATC area. Boston Virtual are going to be there. Right? Really looking forward to meeting the lads there after we did our stuff. MobiFlight, of course, are there. Where is this now? Pilot Power. You're going to see like lots of stuff. Just like, where is this now? What was the name of that other crowd? Something Motive? Altimeter Motive, I think they were called. Is that them? Yeah, Altimeter Motives. These lads had some great hardware. Really, really good. Frugal Sim, rare appearance at Expo. Really? Pints, joins, the whole lot. Yes. Oh, joins. Yes, joins. See, that's the what's the word I'm looking for? Innocence, you know. I expect some big updates from Navigraph. They were very silent these days. Yeah. Curious what WinWing will have to say about product delivery to the US due to tariffs. It's been a hard stop, really. Moza and WinWing, yes, 100%. Beyond ATC, want to see how their VF4 is coming along, says Dad Game Time. Yep. Yeah, London Controller, good to see you. Let's grab a beer one evening. Some great bars in town, 100%. Jamie, I was just saying to Kyle that Murphy's Pub is like straight across the road. Now, it could be a kip, but I don't know. But we'll have, you know, yes, we're here because we were told to. Captain Sickbag, good to see you, buddy. But yeah, I don't know. Like, look, there's a lot of exhibitors here. Hardware, again, seems to be very much the theme here because hardware, right? Hardware. Corsair, so that's Elgato, hardware. Yawman, hardware, right? What's this now? Scalarchy, hardware. Gleam, well, they do a bit of everything. Honeycomb, hardware. WinWing, Fly Inside, Doff. There's a lot of hardware stuff here. Just lots. X-Plane have a fairly big booth here as well. And there's also a rave on the Saturday night. An X-Plane rave. I don't know how to feel about that. Do you reckon Nicky will actually show Murph? I reckon he kind of has to give out, doesn't he? Like, Meridian isn't going to work without Nicky being there. You know what I mean? Like, the brand introduction was just painful. It was a video of, like, not much.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean? Isn't any expo mostly about the hardware? Not really. I know FS Weekend was, but, like, you know, last year, for example, in Vegas, there was hardware, yes. WinWing dominated once again, as did, you know, Moza and Pimax were there. But there was a lot of software stuff. I mean, you had, you know, the 2024 release and you had aircraft releases, right? The A350. Like, there was a lot of kind of big aircraft or software releases on the way. I think Navigraph, I think you're right there. Navigraph are working on an absolute ton of stuff. Like they mentioned months ago about the, their whole kind of pilot training academy coming to Navigraph. I'd be really looking forward if that's out there. Plus SayIntentions, I mean, the work that they've been doing with the AI living world and all the other bits of jazz, like they're flat out doing stuff as well. So there is some stuff there. I would have preferred, but like it would have been better if Microsoft were there, right? I mean, they're going to one in South America a couple of months later, but it probably ties in with the release of an aircraft or whatever, you know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, lads. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a great event no matter what happens, because apart from all the flight sim stuff, be it hardware or software, doesn't matter. Well, you get the flight sim enthusiasts, those of us who enjoy flight simulation, because there's a great social aspect to this. Do you know what I mean? It's getting to meet folks and catch up with folks, our community as well. You know, it's going to be brilliant. No matter what way you do it, it's always going to be good crack. You know, and the mischief and messing that you get up to, right? So it's going to be fun. Murph, will me babes be there? Jay, could you imagine? Right? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen there. There's a pub called Murphy's. Yeah, 100% Sunjammer. 100%. Nothing would surprise me, inclusive. Yeah, I don't know, lads. You're thinking Nicky won't show up. I don't know. Would it work without him? You know what I mean? It'll be weird, right? Yeah, the flight sim community, it is fantastic. Raoul won't have a booth this year. Raoul will be out walking the floor, you know, with us mere mortals, and he'll be having the crack. There's going to be loads of this. I'm really looking forward to it because I had so much fun last year in Vegas. Houston was awesome as well. This is my third expo, and I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I was just going to say, as someone who's attended since 2019, it's almost all about the social aspect for me now. Seeing and meeting other creators, says Captain Canada. Yeah, dude, it's like we were at FS Weekend, and it's great catching up with the developers and seeing kind of what's coming out and what they're working on. But the absolute like star to any expo, it's the people. Jeez, it's good to see you. How are you getting on? Any excuse for a pint, but it's great. It's great. So I cannot wait. So that's the floor plan for FlightSimExpo. And yes, there will be live streams, of course. We'll keep you up to date on Discord and here on Twitch and on YouTube. There'll be plenty of stuff going on. The Friday is all the announcements. Let's hope there's announcements kept for Friday. Remember last year, like a whole lot of stuff was like announced the day before. Anyway, Saturday then, busy day on the floor, getting to see everything. Sunday, another busy day on the floor, getting around. And then I bug out on Monday, probably with a sore head. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. So moving on, we covered this airport a week or two ago in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it was the Thai models. Remember the Singapore one? Remember this absolute stunning scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator with the that incredible fountain? Well, the developer has only gone and released it now into the world of X-Plane, and we have a bit of a video of it there now. I mean, if one visual is against the other, different lighting model, I suppose, and it looks nice. I think 24 has it on the looks, but this is a superb looking airport, and the fountain and everything else. It was quite staggering what they managed to put into this. Anyway, the good news is for X-Plane pilots, it's now available over on X-Plane. You can pick it up from the developer's website or Sim Market, €23, give or take. And yeah, it's able to use all of the X-Plane lighting, weather engine, and all the jazz. The screenshots actually look really nice here as well. I've been loving the lighting so far in X-Plane, and also X-Plane Beta 7 came out. What Crocs will I be wearing? The finest Crocs in the land, Epic Fool. I'll be bringing me Crocs, although, you know, there's a good chance if I bring them, Gibbo will get rid of them. Right. But yeah, I've been really enjoying X-Plane 12 recently, and Beta 7 just dropped, so we'll have to do a flight on X-Plane soon, because I'm just enjoying flying in the sim. I'm having fun with it. So great news there. For our last bit of news then, ramble over to VATSIM. What events are happening over the weekend, right? There's an event on Friday, Thursdays in Toronto, and fly in and out of Toronto every Thursday. So that's our Friday morning, sort of, kind of, right? every Thursday between 2300 Zulu and 0200 Zulu. Then moving on into the weekend, we have the Rio Sao Paulo Air Bridge. That was pretty cool. Fly the legendary Rio Sao Paulo Air Bridge and feel the thrill of connecting Brazil's two busiest cities on June the 6th between 2359 and 0230 Zulu. We flew here the other day. Brazil, stunning, absolutely stunning scenery, especially around Santos Dumont. What an incredible airport to fly into. Using the bridge as your visual guide, it's just class, right? But there's other stuff happening here now as well. Sophia Online are on, live from New York, Saturday Ops, right? So premier New York event of the year. Everyone's invited. You heard it first. We are going all in and be bringing you 7 hours of continuous coverage live from New York City. Don't mind the strange background noise when you're on our frequencies. Our noises may include our printers on fire because there are too many flights, right? All major New York fields will be staffed, fly in, out and around for a fantastic time at the Northwest. So that's all kicking off on Saturday, the 7th of June, between 1400 and 2100 Zulu. That's going to be busy, very busy, right? Then, of course, as well, on Friday night on our own stream, we're doing a D-Day commemorative flight. We're going to be flying in some DC-3s, C-47s, and we're flying the D-Day routes of the 101st. So we'll be taking off kind of Exeter, neck of the woods, as we fly. So I'm really looking forward to that on Friday night as well. So, friends, that be it, the news. We shall resume, and hopefully it didn't crash. Please don't crash. Thinking about it. Right. Now, lads, let us look at the CSS Boeing 737-5. Right. So, commercial simulation systems. We've already spoken about the pricing, right? Can't do much on the pricing. So let's have a look at the aircraft, what it can, what it can't do, how does it look, how does it sound, and how does it fly. So using nice controls here, this is all powered by Chaseplane. Please get Chaseplane into the sim, and we'll jump back into the flight deck in a moment. But let's just have a now look at the of the exterior, right? As I figure out how to use my cameras again, because it's been so long. That's a little bit better. All right, so it comes with one default livery. You can download more through their own little app. They have a good few in there now. They've Scandinavian in there. They've Air France. They've Lufthansa. They've a good few different ones in it, right? And it's pre the Sharklet wingtip days, this machine, right? So I suppose we're here just to get an idea of what sort of a machine this is built, right? So, you know, a distance, very much so. Yeah, that's a Boeing 737. Looks the part, right? Does look very nice. So we'll kind of hone in on some of the up close and personal kind of details, right? So look at, not that it's terribly important, but we'll have to check out the main landing gear anyway. They're fairly detailed. There's a nice bit of stuff going on here. Textures look all right. A couple of kind of square lines on the thing, like visually. PMDG versus this for a 737. Well, the looks I think are on the PMDG side of the house. They're not bad though. But I've noticed a couple of sharp kind of, you know, it's not perfectly round or, you know, a little bit sharp in places. It's not a big to-do, lads. Just be aware of it. It is there. The livery is quite good. The decals on the liveries are also very sharp and clear. You can read exactly what's there and what's happening. Moving down onto the main engines then. These look pretty good. Again, as you get a little bit closer, the textures kind of fade out a bit. See that at the very top? But it's not bad. In here, definitely looks good, right? The fins look incredible. Very, very nice. Yes, yes. Visually, everything looks good. I didn't see any windmilling despite putting, like, you know, wind in behind it. Doesn't seem to do anything. Moving on up and along, see where the lights are. They look the part. They're not 3D. It's like plexiglass. Or are they 3D? They are 3D. Never mind. Jesus Murph, you're wrong about two things tonight. You can kind of see where the textures kind of fall off a cliff at the side, but you're not going to be that close to it. You know what I mean? So as we're moving down from the leading edge of the wing, we can see there where the engine's all connected on, and some nice details on the wing. I mean, I think visually, like there's no major areas of concern. I think they've put together quite a nice looking machine, right? For $120 though, yeah. But again, like this is the point I was making. This is one aircraft. They shouldn't say anything about that $120 for now. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Like $120, it's on the promise of getting more of the aircraft. I love the $5 30 days thing, because that'll tell you if you want the aircraft. You know what I mean? Moving on then onto our main wheels down at the back. I mean, look, there's enough detail, I think. We do have pipes and all this kind of jazz over this side. Looks the part, no issues there at all. Decent textures on the tires as well. The glass is pretty good on it as well, actually, the cabin. It's not bad. Nice details here onto our horizontal and vertical stabilizers. There's nice PBR on this as well. Like the, I think the liveries are done really well. Really well. As you come around at the very tail section down, we can see where the APU exhaust is. Yep, all looks good. There's nothing kind of screaming at me at the moment that just, you know what I mean? That's not right, or it looks terrible bad. As I said, like the decals are pretty good here, look. I mean, they're sharp, like, you know what I mean? Kira, good to see you. The window glass isn't flashing, so it's already better than some of your favorite payware, right? Yeah, I don't know, like it's you get that on some aircraft, the glass textures flicker and all this. Like there's lovely details on the back of the jet. And you can see where there's like, you know, there's decent amount of work going in for textures, and you know, it's not exactly high resolution, but it's enough, you know what I mean? The nose gear suspension looked broken. But listen, I fly, well, it's leaning forward. But if I've flown this, there's a good chance it's already broken. Yes, 100%. Now, it does come with integration with GSX. And, yeah. I haven't turned it on now, but it is there, right? So what we're going to do, we'll jump inside in the flight deck and we'll get an idea. We'll go into the cabin here now in a second. So this is the layout. And, you know, hopefully you can see texture-wise and everything else. It looks pretty good, right? There's a fair bit of kind of wear and tear and dirt and grime. Not a new aircraft. I mean, you know, these things were the early 90s. This is interesting. The aircraft, its own registration number is owned by Commercial Simulation Systems because, well, I've a rental of it, right? And it's important to note that you need an app running outside of the sim for this. It lives down here. Can I open that? This gadget here, right? So, you see your license is valid until a certain time. Then what products I have. You can also, this is your livery selector, right? So you can go for the -5 and then you can have a look at the other liveries you want to grab as well. All right. There's a joke here about Murphy being in the front of the plane and the front landing gear being broken. Yeah, thanks, Epic, thanks. Brilliant. Heavy Equation, good to see you. Welcome in. And Lord Freed, you're very welcome aboard, man. Good to see you. So that app is just running in the background. Circuit breakers aren't modelled. You can't do anything with those, but they're there visually. Open the door. We do have you do have some audio stuff, and there is logic on the door. You can turn on the door locking system. Not too bad. At the very front here, galley. You have the SAS stuff put there from the livery. The door's doing its own thing. There is a lav. Close the door. Open the lav, right? And it's just the culture now, isn't it? It's just the culture now in flight sims. If you don't have it, where is this now? As a courtesy to the next passenger, we suggest that you use a towel to wipe the water basin. Federal law provides a penalty for tampering. Smoke detector in the lavvy. And jacks roll and all this. So flushable jacks, right, it's a good start. You can manually operate the door, right? Click of a switch, the door will open. And we actually have a little panel down here, lads, that we can control things like the interior lights of the cabin, the entry lights, and so on and so forth. And the little call buttons going back into the main cockpit then as well. So that's all modelled. That's kind of decent. The cabin itself, very straightforward. It's a 737. They're not going to fly you kind of across the world. Overhead bins and stuff, certainly a different style, isn't it? They don't open, you can't interact with them. There is another panel down the very end of the aircraft, and as we kind of jump into one of the seats, let's go with this one for the sheer crack. It's not bad. It's not bad, right? They're not exactly worn out textures. Everything here looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. And then out the window, looking at the views, not bad either. The side walls, if you want to call them that, they're a little bit on the low texture side for sure. You know, from distance they look great. Up close and personal, they don't look great, and you can't do that with the window blinds or any of that, right? So yeah, so that's the cabin. Back into the flight deck then. And there's some nice features in here. We'll jump into the seat. You can see from the textures here, both on our PFD and MFD, and some really nice avionics here. And I have to say, right, the dials, these are done very, very well. I do like these. They're fully 3D, and the animations of them are done quite well. I think it's very good. I think visually, they've nailed a lot of the visuals inside, right? Because look, there's plenty of dirt and grime there. It's wear and tear all over the shop. I think it looks class, right? The door operates, which is great, or the window hatch, sorry, operates, right? And memory from the IXEG. The only way to close that, there's actually a small little clip holder. Press that in and then close, and it locks in. And that's accurate. There's actually a stop in the base of the window here. That actually works, right? A few of the other things I haven't noticed, but if you test the oxygen masks, they don't make a sound. Usually you get the that doesn't seem to be working. So we've no oxygen, right? It's okay, don't panic. Moving on to the overhead, you can see, and this is where it kind of gets cool. This is Boeing kind of finding themselves. When you consider the NG series over these aircraft, there will be some familiarity, and then you're like, wait, what does that do? Right? And I think they've nailed that, right? You can see even around the main windshield frame here, look at the bolts coming in. I mean, that's... these things weren't made for luxury back then. Even the hand holders are here as well. You can manipulate those. On top of the glare shield, I imagine they'll probably put checklists in there. I don't know. But I think there's a decent level of textures in here, lads. I've no complaints in here. I think they've done a phenomenal job on the cockpit. It looks very, very good. And you couldn't ask for anything more, right? Maybe you can say something about the circuit breakers, maybe, and the oxygen tanks. When you stifle them, they should give you a bit of a sound. Onto our center pedestal, or the lower pedestal. Again, you're looking at stuff now. It's a little bit different. VHF radios. We also have some nav radios here. Transponder in the middle, right? We have antennas here for ADF. We have our, I think it's PFD screens and MFD screens. This is how we adjust the screen brightness. If you're looking forward, don't crash. If you're looking forward, we can click on the yoke here. It drops down. You don't have the same amount of kind of dials and switches that we're used to in the Dash 7 or even the Dash 6 for that matter. We have flood lighting. We have aileron trim. We have rudder trim. Stab trim is there as well. We have the flight deck door system, and that's modelled as well. That won't activate unless you actually hit the switch. What else do we have? The seats, armrests, and they can move on both sides. And if you want to pull in an armrest, you can do that as well. And the seats look pretty good. I thought the textures on the seats are pretty good as well. There is a jump seat back here as well. I don't know if you can click it out. No, probably not. There's a bit of a jump seat there. And what else do we have? That's kind of it. The rest of it now is going to be looking at systems, I would think. Yeah, the rest is going to be on systems. So bring our seats back into play. And what we'll do now, we'll come over here and have a look at the EFB. Aircraft comes with an EFB. We'll power it on. And we get a couple of options, all right? So we can have SimBrief integration, Navigraph charts, they'll integrate, nice. You have ground operations, quite basic, but we can see we can get at the doors, we can get onto the ASU unit, GPU unit, cargo doors, and so on. Aircraft has chocks, we can remove the chocks. Then you have the loading page. So this information, we can pull it in, we can say, right, manual load, right? We can go cargo and we can go fuel. And it's only a matter of hitting the little gadget here. And we have an option of, well, how long do you want it to take in terms of time of loading the aircraft, right? So we'll throw in, I don't know, we'll throw in a bit of fuel here, about 8,000 or so. And we can throw in a bit of cargo for the crack as well. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I've tried clicking it, but nothing comes up. And I'm unsure, can you get this synced with your SimBrief flight plan? I don't know, will it auto load? I'm unsure. It does have a tug, so you can get in, call the tug. It has its own pushback built into it. That is a nice thing for a lot of these. Where is this now? Murph, did you see what B. Carlo said? You definitely should know that, or should know that information. Hang on. Murph, there's a Croc store 30 minutes up the road from the convention centre. This is turning into a great idea. Expo, the home of Crocs. That's what we want. Brilliant. Murphy's going to need another bag in the plane. Brilliant. All right, so that's all we have here. Now, we do have GPU, so we'll turn up the sounds, right? So battery's currently off, so we'll turn on the battery. All right, we'll get the emergency lights to armed. And we'll start kind of just going through our flows here to see where we're at. We do have ground power, so we're going to activate the ground power. Before we do that, gear handle's in the down position, flaps are stowed as well. So we'll turn on exterior power. Decent sound so far, right? And we continue on with our flows here. So we're going to turn on the logo light for the crack and get our anti-collision lights turned on here as well. We'll come up onto the very top. This is nice. We have the CDSS. This is your cabin camera. We can turn that on. Nice touch, right? We'll also get our IRSs onto nav mode. And we can select, you know, what time we want these guys to, when we want them to display and all the jazz, yeah? Mic selector, that all works. Flight recorder, we can go ahead and test. That's working. Overspeed tests. Stall. Shakers are working. They're all working. Crew oxygen, normal or on. Overhead lights, the dome light, that's all fine. Flap test button, that's all working, right? So far so good, right? So far so good. Isn't it great to see a classic in Microsoft Flight Sim? 100%. 100%. Alright, as we come further a little bit down, we'll leave the yaw damper off for the moment. VNAV, there, leave them all on normal. Fuel, we'll go ahead and put on our aft fuel pump. What else? We'll turn on the galley power. Any residual volts, we can clear those out of the system. Gens are currently off. EGT, and that's for the APU. We'll start that up in a moment. Circuit breaker lighting and panel lighting, go ahead and turn on. And we can have a look to see that our ground power is live. We are getting a feed, right? And we can check the voltage of the battery as well if it's discharging. So we're on ground power, so we're quite okay. No smoking and passenger seatbelts. We'll flick them to auto. We have an attendant call button, audible, and the ground control as well. Kind of lightly here, that's all accurate. Rain repellent, we're not going to do that. I think airlines go nuts if you hit rain repellent. They're expensive. We do have wipers, and the wipers work. Right. What else? We have engine start switches, leave them alone. Lighting down here. We have our pressurization. Moving up, then we have our cockpit voice recorder. This works. Press and hold. Good. Erase. That's all working. We can turn on our electrical pumps. Anti-ice systems, leave them off for now. Window heat and pitos, leave them off for now. We have our cabin environmental stuff, including that of our packs, leave them all off at the moment. Then we have our pressurization, so we can put in our flight altitude, landing altitude, cabin rate, climbing or descending, and we can manually open and close the main valve. So all of this is actually done quite well, right? And then we have your max pressure schedule. It's all written there. Quite good, right? This is all fairly good, right? So we'll go ahead and cancel these guys. We have some screens working. I have found a bug. You'll notice that I don't have any life in my PFD. Now I'll see, can I turn this on manually, right? Let's get you a view that you might be able to see a little bit better. So I have an MFD, I don't have a PFD. So what I find is if you don't have any luck with the PFD on this side, it's a bug, right? Let's just check the far side. Yeah, so the one on the left is shagged. Now let's reset it. So that screen is just, it's not going to work. It's not, and that's a bug, right? The only way to fix it, thankfully, you shouldn't have to restart the sim. This will get noisy though, and I'm going to have to repeat my steps. But we're going to have to close out the app, give it a moment, and we're going to start back up the app, and hopefully this will fix it, right? So we'll give it a moment. Hopefully it all dials in. The aircraft will do something friggin' nuts. It resets once it gets talking to its own server. There she goes. So I need to repeat my steps here. It's an annoying bug. It's the first thing you kind of want to test before you get going. I did, and it was working fine. Once I turned the battery off, it stopped working. So there are bugs, right? But anyway, let's see what happens here. We'll go ahead and get that GPU reconnected, get our battery on, emergency lights on. Them screens are completely off now, Murph. They probably won't work on just the battery. They should do, though. For crying out loud, they're not working at all. Let's go GPU. All right, now we're fucking diesel, and they seem to be off on that side. But yeah, talking to the developers, they just say, yeah, Murph, just give it a restart. Well, they didn't say Murph, they just said, yeah, give it a restart. Right, okay, so we're back somewhat in action, so we'll continue on doing what we were doing. So, go ahead and get these guys back on, get them back on, get you on. That's all working now, that's all working now. And we'll continue on doing what we were doing. Fuel pump, we said we'll get one on. Galley is on. Get those on. Logo. Anti-collision. Wing lights for the crack. APU, leave all that alone. Electric pumps. Get those on as well. Right, so that was the first bit of it. Uh-oh. Now, let's go down here to our tablet because we want to get our load in. So, load. And we want to carry some fuel here and cargo. 8,000, so I want this to either instant, fast, or real. Let's just start loading. Loading complete. Aircraft kind of jumps around. And we should have a look here at our fuel. Turn on your panel lights. Now we can see what's happening with all our lights here. Same with our FMSs. I like the way that there are switches to turn everything on, right? It's class, right? All our panel lights coming on here now so we can see what is actually happening. Reset barrow, that's all good. Reset this little fella here. So we do have a little bit of fuel on board. Let's go with that. So next up is going to be starting the APU unit. We're going to turn on the power. We get our low oil pressure light. That's all correct. We do have one booster pump on. That's looking good here. And we'll come down on this side. Panel lights turning on. Turn this gadget on. Auto or manual. Auto's working. That's all good. We can interact. We have a radar and also a weather radar, which is working grand. Terrain or weather. Right, what else do we need up here? No, that's all good. Right, we're going to start up the APU. And let's have a listen to the sounds. We shall listen. So we have decent sounds, right, for the APU at least. All right, continue on. So we should see that APU power will be available. Let me see here now. We'll wait for the blue light to turn on. What else do we need here now? APU bleed. Want this guy to open. And we should get pressure built up on that APU here now in a moment. And with that, we continue on. Reject the takeoff. Come down here. We'll go to our pause in it. We're here in Shannon. Hop in Shannon, and we'll just grab the old IRS position. So Shannon, and we'll say Dublin. I won't be the full flight, but it's probably something I'll take for a blast here. What's Scandinavian? Is it SA or is it SCA or something? Runway 24, let's say. SAS. SAS 235. Go ahead and pop you in there for the crack. There's a flight number. Let's have a look up here. APU gens are now up and running. Go ahead and turn them on. So APU is running. Packs, go ahead and turn them on. And you can hear the packs moving throughout the cabin and that. So that's all working just fine. We can now turn off our... What happened there, Chief? What happened to the APU there? The APU shut down? Did we find another bug? Did I do something wrong? APU, right? EGT is there. There's no amps, but that'd be right. APU bleed is on. Engine bleeds, turn them off for the minute. Don't need them. Not to confuse the system. On up here and test that APU. Yeah, she's driving power. Okay, APU is now working. Disconnect ground. Okay, she hasn't got a fright there. Back into our tablet. We'll go back to the door.
It's not the plane. It's the pilot.
We'll remove the GPU, remove the chocks as well. Come back down here. So let's go ahead and activate that. We'll go to our departure page. It's going to be departing runway 24. We'll go on the old Peleg 2 Bravo. Execute that. Go back to the route page. We'll go back to arrival. We'll call Dublin ILS 28 left. And we'll ramble in, I suppose, from the Oscar 3 Lima from Pizza. And execute that. Route page, we have a discount, we'll worry about that in a moment. Performance information, right? So we come on over here to our load page. So let's have a look here. So we can see gross weight is 42.4. So gross weight is 42.4. Go ahead and horse that in. Fuel on board is grand. Reserve was to say 1. Cost index we'll put in 10 for the sheer crack of it. Cruise, let's go 15,000. And cruise wind, I don't know. Let's say it's 240 at, 16 for the crack. Just to give us a bit of information. Top of climb, outside air temperature, we'll put it in at 0.2 degrees. Why not? Transition level will go in, execute that. Takeoff page, outside air temperature, put it in at 14 degrees. And what else? Pre-flight complete. So we'll get our V-speeds over here. Now we do have a performance page. So we'll go back to our menu. We'll go to performance. In here now we can put in Shannon. The aircraft flaps will be set to 5. Runway is 24. Anti-ice will be off. Bleeds will be on. Engines, that's all grand. Wind speed direction. So wind we were saying is 240. I can't type that in, so we'll just go 240. Get down there now, you devil, yeah. 240 at 5, I suppose. I wonder, can you sync this page? Jesus. Temperature 15, that's all grand, let's leave it there. Elevation, that's all grand, that's all grand. And here's our V speed. So 138, 140 and 147. 138, 140 and 147. So we'll go ahead and pop those in. Jesus. 140 and then 147. Alright, they're all looking good. Let's go back to the legs page. There is a disco in here somewhere. There it is. Oscar. Execute that. Legs page now to me look good. And we'll come up onto our autopilot. Go ahead, get those flight directors turned on. And we'll set an initial altitude of 9,000. And we'll go ahead and bring our speed up. I wanted 148. I bypassed that. I always bring it up to about 200. Sim Pilot, good to see you, buddy. No eyebrow windows. Yeah, it's like, what happened there, man? So let me see. We'll horse it in there 210 for the crack and we see what happens. Auto throttle unit is there. That's all looking grand. Brakes RTO. Right, lovely hurdling. So we'll go for an L push. Give us a push. We'll go to ground. We'll go to tug. Call the tug. I haven't tried this yet. This will be interesting. So we've called the tug. Not sure if we get a graphic or otherwise. It's taking its time to ramble in. Now, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and get the rest of the aircraft configured. So fuel pumps can all come on. Yaw dampener can be activated. That's all good there. That's all good there. Cruise altitude, we're not going up that high, but it won't matter. We'll set all that up now in a moment. Landing altitude of Dublin, we stick it in. I think it's 200 feet, isn't it? Go ahead and horse that in. And up here looks good. Just waiting on our tug to get here. He's there. Connect to the aircraft. I don't think it draws in the model. That's a bit kind of naff, isn't it? Yeah, the cockpit looks really well, doesn't it? It looks decent. Right, what else do we want to do? We want to come down here. We're going to go transponder. And test TCAS. And we'll get our terrain up on the right hand side.
TCAS test pass.
That's looking good. It does sound good, doesn't it? Okay, so we want to start push and we're going to go backwards. Start push backwards. Right, that's gonna immediately tip us over. Murder, death, kill. That's what happens when you push with the brakes on. Jesus. Right, we found another issue. It tried to push us with the brakes on and it was about to put us into... Brilliant. Right, packs off. Right, and now we want to start the machine. That looks good. That looks good. Engine start. Let's go for the right side. Alright, we have rotation on our end too. And let's see what's going to happen here, friends. There's 20%, fuel in. Starter switch is off. She's spooling. Sounds like it's a good start, doesn't it? Not too shabby. Looks the job, right? Nice heat blurs there in the background. Hey, Twisted Mexican, good to see you. Jefferson is here. Welcome in, man. Alright, let's go for start on number 1 now. We will turn on that generator. Generator active. Let's go to engine 1. I'll try and get an internal sound off that engine now as well. N2, Verizon. Not the fastest pushback in the world. Fuel in. We're waiting for the sounds now on this one, right? Little bit low, aren't they? A little bit low, right? Right, this pushback, stop. And we will engage the parking brakes. Disconnect. Good start on number 1 engine. Go ahead and turn on our gens. Gens are now looking good. APU we're going to bring offline. Get the engine bleeds on. APU bleed off. Packs come back on. Stuck them to auto. APU switches off. APU unit off. Taxi lights, all that jazz. Probes and window heater. That's all looking good. That's all looking good. APU's after jumping off. And I think we're looking good. So, flaps are going to be next. 3 notches. We want flaps 5. Let's listen to them in the cabin. No sounds. No sounds. What can you do? Right, I think we're looking good. So, trim. Not terrible. Transponder, go ahead and bring it on. And I think we're looking good. So, brakes off. And let's go taxiing. Easy does it. Just mimic the sounds. We're going that direction. What do you think so far, lads? Good, bad, not too bad, not too good? Carlos doesn't like it. Not worth $120. Well, no, like, I mean, consider this, right? Let's say, forget about the $120 for a minute. What if we were to say it's, well, you can't though. You can't. Like, okay, for $5, if you go for a blast, yeah, it's worth $5. I think if they had a price tag, you know, that $50 price tag where, like, you know, get a year, I think that $50 should be buy the aircraft outright. And even at that, like, okay, it's cheaper than PMDG, but like, yeah, I don't know. The 120 quid to buy it outright, Jesus. I don't agree with it at all. And they're trying to sell you that price based on having a Dash 3, a Dash 4, a Dash 5, and also, you know, a freighter variant, right? Which isn't bad, right? I think the 120 quid is just, no, not yet. Not until you get all variants of it, I think. You know what I mean? There's 40 quid's worth of a difference between the variants, maybe. Stein Aviation, good to see you.
Hello there.
Like, I like the fact that we can try this thing for $5. I do like that. I'm a fan of that because the way add-ons are getting, you don't know what's good, bad, or indifferent. If it's only going to cost you $5 to try it to see if you do like it, in time, when they bring out all the variants, then you can say, well, hang on, I'm getting like potentially 6 aircraft for that price tag. You'll have the Dash 3, 4, and 5 in both passenger and freighter variants. Then you can kind of, yeah, okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? But I think it's a hard sell, man. 120 for like nothing else, not great, not great. But you know, let's see what happens, and we will. What we want to do, set up our runway heading here. That was a bump off a cat's eye. That was pretty cool. Can we get more of those? I should be able to detect those in the sim, I thought. I mean, everything looks better with chase plane as well, right? They will argue they will charge you 120 quid. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. You've no argument. I'm just saying, like, for a $5, yeah, you know. This is 2020, G-Slayer. Yeah. So the aircraft not currently working in 2024. Not yet. Right, we continue on here. Engine mode continuous. Lights be flashing. Got our runway lights on here now as well. We can hit this bar. Turns everything on full whack. Quick checking our overhead systems just to make sure all looks well. This is good. That's good. These are good. That's good. We're good. Down here we're looking good. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Problem is, other devs start doing subscription-based models, even as low as 5, it adds up quickly. I agree. However, as a rental, I wouldn't look at this as a subscription. I view this is me renting the aircraft for a month to see if I like it. I wish there was another level, another tier that I can say, all right, I like it, I've tried it, I want to buy it, but I only want to buy this one. Don't hit me with a $120 price tag. You know, I just want this aircraft, thanks. And when you release the other ones, well, maybe there's an upgrade path to those. You know, hey, you want the freighter variant? Sure, that'll be another $15. Okay, that's how I would do it. But sure, that's why I'm not in charge of these things, lads. Right? Yes, me doors are closed. Thank you, Highwayman. Is it though? Yeah, it is. Days, I was getting worried there. All right, approaching the active. Sounds aren't great in the aircraft. The APU is decent, systems are pretty good, right? And you can hear the jet there. I mean, it doesn't sound bad. Wings look pretty good. Although, in saying that, Jesus, we talk about flight controls, they don't seem great, do they? Do we need to reset those hydraulics? Let's just do a quick flight control test. Because it didn't look great out here, did it? Rudder's good, ailerons are alright. They don't seem right. They're alright. Right, friends, let us start doing the thing with the yoke. So, we're going to go heading mode. We're going to go altitude select. Let's see if this all works on takeoff. It'd be hilarious if it doesn't.
Can I get a refund?
Auto throttle won't engage. Auto throttle armed. Start a timer. Timer set. Power coming in. 40%. Engine stable. And toga. Take a power set. Speed live. 80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Gear indicates as up. Flaps 1. LNAV arm. Autopilot engage. Give us a direct to Oscar, please. Let's go Peleg. Execute. We just got a raid.
Make angle, make angle.
Let me see. Asmid, good to see you, buddy. Ooh, we're over speed. Easy now. Lead the speed, Murphy, you big Egypt. Oh, she wants to go left for Peleg. Oh, Jesus. Grand.
Make angle, make angle.
Welcome in, guys. Hope you had a great stream. Yeah, passengers at this stage are barfing out the window. I did the wrong direct too, but it's grand.
It's a big 10-4, good buddy.
To the cock. Quite eventful, right? Chaz Babylon, thank you for the 3 months. Cheers, buddy. I should have went direct to Oscar, but then I thought I passed it, but that's not the plane. That's a Murphy problem, not a plane problem, right? So what we do, and she's holding autopilot, 220. So auto throttle is behaving. LNAV is engaged. Bring it up to 230. Disengage the landing gear. We're climbing at 2100. Let's go 2500. V-speed is working well. Instruments are working fine, right? Let's see if you can get some weather on here as well. Let's go weather. We train on one side, weather on the other. So the avionics, they're okay. She's not liking that bank angle. Cool the jets there, Chief.
Make angle, make angle.
Alright, she's going to capture now. Where are you trying to take me, plane? Alright, should be a right turn now to fix that. Stephen the Sparky, welcome in, buddy. Seen a lot of interesting stuff with this plane. Haven't tried it yourself, though.
Make angle, make angle.
So have you made him try SayIntentions? Nice. Into the drink, yeah. It seems a bit nervous. No, it's okay. Chase plane is adding in a bit more of the movement. So like if we jump to this, it's quite steady. There's 9,000. Keep her going. It didn't like that direct too, but it's alright. Like, it's relatively stable, you know? Yeah, the payment method a little bit weird. Little bit weird. Little bit giddy in its turn. There's 10,000 feet. Yeah, it's really struggling here to get a direct look. So let me see. Direct to... cancel that. Let's go legs page. Can we go direct to Oscar? Because it's like having a fit trying to get me to Pelic. Look. Present position. Direct to... I want to go direct Pelic. I was going to try this mad turn again. Yeah, we don't like that. Let's go direct to Oscar. And let's see how this behaves. Yeah, the angle's quite tight, isn't it? Worst case scenario, we throw it back into heading mode. Because it really isn't liking that, although it seems to be behaving a bit better now. I don't think it liked its first direct 2. I just didn't agree with it. Seems to be behaving a bit better now, provided it rolls out when it's supposed to. Let's see. Hopefully it does. The life of a test pilot, right? Now let's have a look. It should roll out properly here and hold. The instruments do look really nice though, like I will give them that. I think they look great. Okay, there's a roll. Oh no, not yet. It's usually 5 degrees out. Alright, altitude is coming in. Now we should, there we go. Start rolling out. That should be rolling out on that. She's kind of getting it. Now, it's a much older autopilot unit, so there's that, right? Yeah, that's doing a better job now. Let's see how quick it is to capture that line, right? No, I don't think it's not that bad. But I think trying to capture the ALNAV profile, it's struggling a little bit. Alright, level off there. Yeah, that's okay now. Should be. Straighten up. Yeah, that's a bit better. Because it's fighting wind, yeah? So get the speed up now. Let's call it 280 knots indicated. Okay. It's calmed itself down now. We hope. I think it's just a bit of work might be required from the just from the sounds, you know what I mean? And it does look a little bit shaky in flight, but it looks the part. Nice wind flex there that you can see. We want to get kind of interesting here. Night lighting, give it a second to kind of catch on. So, night lighting, it's good to say the least, right? Get some lights on up here. Lights there. You have the panel lights there. Yeah, I think the cockpit lighting is done very well, isn't it? How's the stall behavior? Now there is another little switch out the door here for the cabin, so turn on my little aviation flashlight. You notice that the cabin lights are off, yeah? So if we were to say dim or bright, let's go with dim. Turn off that flashlight. So there's your cabin lighting. It's not bad. Phasmophobia. It's not great, but it's not bad. But I think the cockpit lighting is very nice. Would you agree? You have a dome light up here then as well. I think it's pretty decent. Yeah, look, yeah, you would look good with night lighting as well, says Hangar Studios. Brilliant. So, lads, that is the CSS 737-5. I hope. Look at the wing wave on this, look. Not as stable. If anything, hopefully this has given you just an idea before you part with your own money to say, should I get it, should I not get it? You know what I mean? From the, yeah, it doesn't seem right. I mean, them wings are giving it absolute socks there at the minute. Nice wing. Nice wing view.
Something on the way. Something.
You know, so in terms of characteristics, you know, landing or stalls and all that, yeah, you can have the crack with them, but like it's not going to behave right. It won't behave right. But in terms of the systems on that, I don't think it's bad. You only use 24 anyway? Yeah. Right, that is the CSS 737. Hope you enjoyed that, lads. And if anything, it has informed you of what the machine is all about. So we're moving on. Next, we're checking out something pretty cool, right? The next aircraft is from TopMax Studios, and these guys, you know, the likes of the F-22, amongst other aircraft. And what we're checking out today is their iteration of the Boeing Saab, the T7. Right, the Redhawk. And what's pretty cool about it is the Redhawk, well, the red tail gets its name from the red tails, the Tuscaloosa, them lads, right, from the Second World War. Tip of the hat to them, red tail, right? And the hawk, it's kind of aimed towards kind of the Goshawk. That's, you know, right? And well, the aircraft we have, this is brand new in terms of real world what they're actually doing with this, and it's a partnership between Boeing and also Saab building this aircraft, right? So we'll jump into BAL here because I tend to test most of my aircraft in BAL. And we'll make it daytime here as well. And we're going to load in with this aircraft to see what it's all about. Tuskegee, that's the guys. So with this aircraft from TopMac, they've released it. It's out a while now, and it does work in 24, but it's native to 2020. That's why we're checking it out. But the aircraft itself, it was originally designated as the Boeing TX, then later Saab, right? So Boeing put in the bid, working with Saab. Saab opened up a place in Indiana, I think, or Indianapolis. Oh, they opened up a place over in the States, and they reckon they're going to deliver some 2,500, right? Clipped out. We're finished with the 7.3, buddy. They reckon they're going to sell about 2,500 of these. Main customers, of course, being the US Air Force. We're also looking at the Navy and so on and so forth, right? So we're just waiting on Chase Plane to kind of activate and get itself ready. And we'll change the time of day here. We're going to change the weather as well, just to make it look kind of very nice. We'll go something like that. And we'll do something like that so it's nice and bright. So what we're looking at here, we'll just jump outside straight away. This is the aircraft as we're looking at it, right? It's part of the US Air Force Air Education and Training Command, or AETC. It began developing this all the way back in 2003, right? It first flew in 2016. 2 prototypes and 3 engineering and manufacturing developing aircraft have been built thus far, and I think the heavy production is to start either this year or next year, right? So they're going to be building this aircraft. Potential operators, of course, the Redhawks globally, in addition to the US Air Force. They know that Australia, I think, are going to order these to replace their BAE Hawks, and also Serbia are replacing their G4s, and yeah, there's I think the Japanese air defense or self-defense force, whatever they're called, they're going to grab these. Now you might say, yes, a scaled down version of the F-18. It actually shares the same engine as the F-18. For this aircraft, she's powered by the she is powered by the General Electric F404. That engine, which started its life out in the 70s, two of them power the F-18. It also powered the F-117, the Nighthawk, right? So, yeah, I mean, these things, they look the part. They're very much there to replace the US Air Force's T-38s. That's where these guys are going, right? And interesting speed, just under Mach 1, doesn't break the sound barrier, has a range of about 990 nautical miles, a certified service ceiling of 50,000 feet, and designed to be training aircraft, but they do have options later on, or they will have options later on to be support aircraft, ground attack, and air-to-air capabilities as well. 2 crew, however, it can work with single pilot operations, and it is a real-world aircraft very much in active development. Right, so it's pretty cool that TopMax went this direction. The add-on itself from TopMax Studios, well, there's a lot of systems modeling here. There's radar functions, there's tracking of other aircraft. You can lock on to other aircraft. The sound set has been provided by Echo 19. They've done a very, very good job of this airplane. And what we're going to do, we're going to power it up, take it for a quick blast here, just to show you how it handles. This is very good. This is very, very good, and it's one of those things, terrible pun, but it kind of get in under the radar because it came out when there was a lot of other releases. What's interesting about it, this is a heavily contested area, not just in your flight sim, but also in the real world. I mean, this aircraft is competing with Aeromanchi's, their 346. It's competing with the the L91 and the L31, right? There's a lot of heavy competition for this, and it looks like Boeing and Saab got the green light to start developing. So yeah, it's a pretty looking machine. It's using the latest and greatest in terms of avionics. It has its own software, and also the building of this aircraft in the real world is quite staggering, with the Swedes designing this new heavily automated system whereby they can build the aft section of the aircraft, Boeing will make the front, and minimalistic use of parts and rivets and all the sort of jazz. It's a lot of composites thrown into it as well. But yeah, from TopMax, they've done a lot of great work into this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump in and fire it up. So welcome to the cockpit of this small little airplane. We'll go ahead and get our canopy open here, get some air in. Very similar. It's very modern aircraft, so it's a lot of glass, all right. And if you notice down here on the left hand side, we have electrical, external, we have internal, we have our throttle, APU, and we have battery switches. Right hand side then we have an array of oxygen, defrost systems, and interior lighting. That's it. Everything else, it's on the glass. And she's a 2-seater, so what you have in the front, you have in the back, and this is fully modelled in the rear seating position as well. Fully modelled, everything works, so it doesn't matter where you sit inside the aircraft, all right? So what we're going to do, well, we're going to go ahead with some exterior power. So when you click on these 2 switches, you'll see 2 ground units suddenly appear, and they're connected to the aircraft itself. We'll turn that on, and that's going to give us power. We'll put on our battery, avionics, and our main generator can be turned on here as well. And the remove before flight, off she goes, or at least on the front, all right? So, master caution, go ahead and cancel that. This is all touchscreen, and I gotta say I kind of like it. We also have options for the layout here of our main screen. So we have various HSIs, artificial horizons, compass, engine, also a loadout. We can also change this then into a different layout as well. These other buttons I didn't seem to be able to get working. I don't know, is that stuff coming down the line? I don't know. We do have an on-off switch, and we do have a brightness switch here as well. Everything works pretty well, right? Pretty well. Does break Mach 1. So maximum speed Mach 0.975. Now I think in the sim they have it going above that, right? But from, well, it's from a source that, yeah, right, from Wikipedia at least, that's where I'm getting it. It's very hard to get information on this machine. So they have it down as Mach 9.75. I think you probably could break this with afterburners and the whole lot. Right, let's have a look here at some menus, right? So we have our main comms here. So we have numeric keypad, Joker and bingo, nav setup is GPS or nav hold, ILS frequencies, TCAN is there, don't think that works, or TACAN, identification friend or foe, that's your squawk, ILS, HUD, so turn this into the HUD. You can also turn on an FLI or infrared camera. It just looks nice. You can go synthetic vision if you like. All nice. We can go air to air, air to ground, or we can go nav. You can also put in a landing system here as well. Or if you like the layout of the F-22, you can go F-22 on that. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. So we'll go back over this side. We'll keep it on this. If we go back, data. So this is where we can change all our different information, right? Standby frequencies for squawk, temperatures that I can read, timers, various ones, and also your fuel. We'll click back on that. Autopilot, so we have our autopilot systems. Again, very easy to use this. It's all touchpad. Clear the menu there. TSD data, so this is where we can detect and lock on to various aircraft. We can use radar and it'll show us other aircraft flying in the sim and we can lock into them. It's pretty cool. It works very well. And you've target identification here then as well. The last one then we're going to look at is the system control. Click on system control, and this is kind of like your EFB. It comes with an EFB. Activate the EFB and you have all these options down here, right? Nice touch, right? If you want an EFB, or you can just remove that. Avionics bays, so you can actually open them up and it will show you on the aircraft the avionics bays just in here. I thought that was a nice touch, right? Careful now, Murphy, after breaking the cameras. Good man. So you can open and close the avionics bay, right? Kind of crazy, isn't it? The way aircraft are gone, like this, as I said, like this is like brand new shampoo, you know? Right, what else we can do? So wheel chocks are there, remove before flight tags, and we do have some nice options here, right? You have remove before flights, tie downs, pewter covers, and also on your afterburner. So we're going to remove all of those. We'll close the avionics bays, and then we can appear a pilot if we want. There's the pilot, and we can stick on a visor and front equipment if you want. I tend to leave them off. Show head if you want from the pilot, and we can also do some other stuff. So wheel chocks are currently in place. We put a ladder onto the side of the aircraft. Right, looks the job. We can get rid of the ladder and you can actually put in a maintenance platform look. So they've added some nice features, haven't they? Right, get rid of that. You can put a tow bar out in front of you if you wish. There's our tow truck with the tow bar. So these are just kind of ground stuff that we can have there or not. So what we're going to do, we're going to put some power into this machine and let's go flying. So formation lights, go ahead and turn them lads on. Position lights, get them flashing already. What else do we want? Anti-collision lights, put them on. APU is going to be our next job. So we're going to turn on the APU and just have a listen to the sounds. Echo 19 lads, you know. Flipper Ally, good to see you, buddy. Alright, let's get this canopy closed. And you notice the sound as well, yeah? Alright, main canopy is closed and locked. And that's our APU up and running. So what else we want to do here now? Our throttle, so two-stage throttle. Off or on, and then your full throttle use. So we're going to go for a startup on the engine itself. So oxygen over here. That's all working. Now he'll keep going Darth Vader on you, right? So I'll leave it off. Get some interior lighting up here. Lead air systems, environmental is on here as well. We'll go for cranking the engine. Engine crank engaged, and we're going to monitor now our N2, and we'll introduce some fuel. Let the N2 rise, and we'll introduce some fuel. Alright. Press the button, Murph. Aren't you moving, Betsy? Yes, we can hear you. There we go. Fuel in. Clear the master caution. M1 is rising. There's our sound coming up. APU can be... Wait for that N1 to come up a little bit higher. I think it's at like 20% N1 we can kill the APU. Engine crank off. N1 is good. APU off. Remove the ground power. Good sounds, yeah, very good sounds. Very, very good sounds. There's our mirrors. Alright, reset the barrel. On down here down to some lighting. Taxi light comes on. Take off trim, press and hold. Flight control test. All the fly-by-wire system.
Jesus.
Alright. Fuel. I better top up a spot of fuel because this thing drinks it. Aircraft. Fill up the fuel tanks there, Betsy. Alright. So what we're going to do, we're going to taxi forward and let's see what happens here, right? Have a listen to the sounds. Don't pin it, Murphy. Oh, the stutters are real. Alright, calm down the old stutters. Easy now. Any lights on? All our lights are on. Alright, let's do a quick run up with the old engine sounds to give you an idea. Like, the sounds are quality, aren't they? Very, very nice. Right, yeah, the fastest Deliveroo ever. Right, so we're going to advance our power up the road. Let's go military power. Hold the brakes. Off the brakes. Afterburner engaged. Now we're thrashing. Airspeed very much alive. Oopsie daisy. Jesus. Right, off the burner. Easy now. Roll to the left. Looks good, doesn't it?
Jesus.
bit of wind here to contend with. Ultra speed, not liking that. Master caution, low speed. Fix that with the burner. There goes our speed now. 260 knots. 300. 350. Ease off the power. Savage, isn't it? It's so nimble. So what do you think? This is the T7A Redhawk from TopMax Studios. How this isn't in your virtual hangar, lads, I couldn't tell you. It's a great machine. Let's check out some of the night lighting before we go. There we are now. Right. I mean, isn't that stunning? It's pretty, isn't it? Formation lights on, isn't it? Only gorgeous. A massive shout out to TopMax Studios. I mean, this, as I said, this kind of got in under the radar. It does work on flights in 2024. You can buy it through the marketplace, and it'll go in, and it does work in 24, but it is native to 2020. And I think with the likes of Chase Plane, that's where you can really enjoy the sounds of this. Click of a button. Right, throw in a bit of sauce with that afterburner. Like, Jesus, do you know what I mean? On my hand, it's very good, isn't it? It's very, very good, yeah. They've done an incredible job. That's Echo 19, it's amazing. But shout out to TopMac, because they've done a great job with all the bits and bobs in here. Like, everything works. Everything works, do you know? They've done a really, really nice job with this. And, like, it's a beautiful airplane to fly. It's so nimble. You know what I mean? Absolutely gorgeous. So, massive shout out to TopMac. You should have this airplane. Just saying. If you like fighters, I mean, this is what you want, lads. And there's other stuff in there as well in relation to the, you know, in relation to the radar systems, right? And what I love about it is because it's so new. This is still being developed by Boeing and Saab. Like, it's freaking awesome, isn't it? It's a great bit of stuff. How much? Good question. I should check that. T-7A. Where is this now? So as I say, you can pick it up in the marketplace. Where is it now? $24.99. $25 from the Instant Marketplace. It's real nice. Real nice. Real nice. Right, so what we're going to do next, lads, for our final bit of it... Oh, look, the pause button hits the gear. That's interesting. For our final thing tonight, I want to show you Elevateex. And this is... Well, you guys recommended it, right? What this is, it's a freeware flight tracking program. And I gotta say, right, I'm actually really enjoying this. We're gonna have a quick look at some of their let's sign in here on the other page. Account linked. Right, we're in. What I want to have a look at here, as I said, it's freeware, okay? But what it is, in terms of your standard kind of flight tracking software, right? Well, you have your map, you can track your flight. You can also see all these blue icons here. That's telling me what custom scenery I have and in what sim it is. So I can see that's FlightSim 24, that's FlightSim 2020. Do you know, and if I go over somewhere else, well, you know, that's FlightSim 2020. It detects all your custom scenery. And if you have X-Plane, it'll detect X-Plane sceneries as well. The vast majority of my stuff is FlightSim 24, but I have some X-Plane stuff. There we go. There's Faro. X-Plane 12 scenery, right? So it can track all your scenery, and that's an option that you can put in, right? And here's an aircraft with an in-flight emergency, 7700. So when it comes to the traffic, we'll go through it now step by step. So your active flight, you can put in your departure, arrival, your alternate, select what aircraft you're in, and you can sync all of this from SimBrief as well. You can pull the information in from SimBrief, fetch information from SimBrief, right? So that's your flight, and it tracks your flight really well. It updates fairly fast, and everything I've seen is quite good. When it goes to the historical flights, this is pretty cool as well. So this one here, this was a flight we did in the Albatross the other night, the G111, and that was out of Zagreb, and it brought us down to just north of what's it called, Split, right? And you can see all the information: the landing rate, your ground speed, G-force, your block time, what time you took off at, your flight time, what route you took, right? The weather, and you've other options. Then you can add in like screenshots, and you can do all that jazz and behind it, right? Grand says I. You can modify that if you wish, or you can delete that flight plan. So you have options, right? And I thought I did one on the Cessna, maybe not. This was the 777 flight we did. That was from Shannon over to Birmingham. And this is an X-Plane 12. And I wanted to see what the difference is of, you know, how does it track on one sim versus the other? And it nailed both of them. So landing rate, ground speed, again, G-force, that's all there, right? And you can edit that stuff as well. So the next tab down is aircraft. Now, a lot of this is familiar. You know, you might see Volanta has this as well. I prefer what Elevateex have done because for me, I just think it's easier to navigate. Nothing wrong with Volanta. I just found it a little bit harder to navigate it. What you can do here, you can add in your aircraft, right? And if you want to add an aircraft to your fleet, you just add the aircraft in. You can fetch the image. You can put in what its home base or where its home base is. And on your aircraft, I really like this, it remembers where they've landed, right? So for example, my Cessna 172 from WBSim, that's sitting over here at Augusta, right? You can import all the Volanta flights into Elevateex as well. This would be the go-to tracker. There you go. You can import all your historic flights. That's pretty cool, right? This was new to me. Yeah, highway man, yeah. It's very much like Volanta, but for me, I just think it's cleaner, right? So looking on the world map, I can see, well, look, I've added 2 aircraft to my fleet. My Cessna 172 is over in the United States, and our G111 is sitting down here just on the Adriatic outside of Zadar. And that's kind of cool because that it's you know, if you want to fly your next airplane, I'll use this one, all right? Next up, then you have your profile, so it'll show you the number of flights you've done, how many, you know, your distance, your environmental stuff, performance is there, and also the frequency, how many flights per month, your average flight time, just a couple of nice KPIs that are there as well, and you can update your picture and all the jazz. That's all basic stuff, right? Right. We have options. Go into the settings, right? General, that's where you can update the app and you can see the changelog on the forums, right? I don't know what the account will show, so let me just click on that. Yeah, no, that's okay. So your account goes in, you see your email, and you know, security is there for changing your password and what devices you're currently logged in on. That's a huge thing. I think everything needs to be kind of shown to say, well, what am I actually logged in on, right? So you can click on that. The preferences that you have for the app itself, so you can say, look, minimize to tray, or just when you close it, it's gone. Start with your system, Discord rich presence if you want, auto fetch images for your aircraft, or auto create aircraft simply by launching an aircraft that says, you're a new aircraft, I'm going to add that to your fleet, all right? Units of measure, temperature, weight, speed, altitude, distance, and you can override the SimBrief flight plan. How your tracking works, automatically start tracking when movement is detected, and you can stop tracking automatically when it's done. And if you wish, you can hide your own VATSIM aircraft from the map if you want, right? Because if you want to be on VATSIM, maybe you don't want to be sharing that information to someone else, you know? Red Baron Flies says, my only issue with this far is the aircraft registration is used in real life, so you can change aircraft type, IKO. Correct. Yes, that's feedback I need to give to the lads. So if you wanted to add an aircraft, right? Let me see, aircraft. And I know, for example, there's a Cessna EI DAS, right? Really? Okay, that's not in its database. So what about Aer Lingus have EI GAL? Yeah, there you go. Look, it is. Look, EI GAL is registered to Aer Lingus and it's an A320. So I can add that aircraft, but I can't use that ICAO for my own. So, yeah. Yeah, you use November 415 Bravo Bravo. Yeah. Now, will it do this one? November 851 Tango Bravo. So it's only looking at airliners, or at least that I can see. Oh, no, November 851 Tango Bravo. That's Steve-O's, or his old one. November 80991. 80991 is like Aviation 101's plane, so it's not picking them up. It's not picking them all up. So yeah, I'll feed that back to them 100%. What are you doing, Murph? Click this button now. So there are your preferences, tracking, and then the map then as well. What weather source you want, right? Next rad level 3, sure, and weather opacity, so you can show weather on it, right? What does the search button do under verifies as Ninja Labs? November 851 Tango Bravo. Search for keywords. No, TBM. And then you add the aircraft. And then you can put in pictures of it. So it just searches for the airframe. That's all. All right. So there are preferences. Connections. This is where you can put in connect to VATSIM, connect to Navigraph and SimBrief, and also connect to Discord if you wish. There's some pretty cool streaming options here for streamers, right? Have I anything there that'll get me in trouble? No. You have information here that it can, if you're a streamer, this is just nice. You can put in overlays, you can connect to bots, you guys can do, predictions for landings and all this sort of stuff. It's similar to what Sim Toolkit Pro had, right? So that's all there. Plugins, so DCS plugin if you're using it, or X-Plane, I use that. Your scenery map, so it's going to say, hey, it found 77 installed sceneries. Oh, nice, okay. And then you have your data, all right? So that's the main options. But let's go back here and have a look at the map. So on our map, what we're looking at here, well, we can see here was a flight that it did, right? Maybe that needs a refresh, does it? Anyway, up here you have your profile. You can see what friends are online and you can request friends and search for friends. You can do all that stuff. So that's similar to what you had in Volanta. You have a toolbox up here, meet our request, right? So you can put in, for example, give us Dublin there, request that. Boom, it gives you the coded version, doesn't siphon it, which is nice. You can get an ATIS request if it's online. No ATIS is online. We'll go back to that now in a moment. If we go to our preferences, so if you want, you can put in your NAT tracks and also your PACOT tracks. Don't have a clue what they are. They're all part of NATs.
Hello there.
So, if you're going across the pond, there's your NATs. They're all done. Elevateex pilots. So there's SimBrief route labels if you want to see who's flying, right? SimBrief route, the planned route. On the map, we can go dark mode. Everyone loves dark mode. Pizza, welcome in, buddy. Day and nighttime line. Nice little touch. Just shows you where's day and where's night in the sim. Scenery indicates where your screenshots are taken. And then you have a live weather radar. And this is from Nextrad, so it's actually using real world data and it's showing you kind of what the crack is. This is a live snapshot of, boom, your Nextrad, right? Turn all that on or off. Scenery, you can show your Microsoft Flight Sim or your X-Plane or even your P3D sceneries if you have them installed. If you turn them off, it turns them off, right? It's handy though when you're planning flights and you know where you have your scenery. But if you're like me, you have to go into like folders of, Jesus, do I have that scenery? You know what I mean? And then we have our ATC stuff, lads. And this is where we can show VATSIM. So we can say VATSIM approach and departure, the airports, the centers. If there's VATSIM NATs, which there is, right? Turn those off. Or we can go to VATSIM pilots. And this is showing us all the VATSIM pilots. So here is a Aer Lingus aircraft. Click on that. See its full route. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And we can see what the crack is there. Can't do any more with it. Can't copy his route. I think that'd be a nice thing if we clicked on him because I can see his route. I'd love to copy that route and paste it for myself. PACOTS is the Pacific version. Thank you, Ninja Labs. Fair dues to you. So that's all you can do with your map filters. And let's have a look at this now. So we're saying for VATSIM. So what airports are online? Click off him now and click back to someone else. So we're active flights. So we have London South is on. And we have ATIS over here. So Echo Golf Kilo Bravo. Echo Golf Kilo Bravo. Oh, look, you can. What was it saying? Focus Dublin to Boston. But yeah, I can't see if I can get any other information though. Echo Golf Kilo Bravo. So let's do D8 as Echo Golf Kilo Bravo. Will this work? Request? No D8 is found. What about Boston? K-Boss? There we go. Departure and arrival. So we have Boston ATIS information Yankee. So that's nice that it does it. See this button down here? Microsoft Flight Sim and P3D time sync. Yeah, don't press that. Right? I did that and I was wondering why the time of day in the sim kept resetting. I was like, I'm after breaking me sim. Stupid. But that's what that does. So if you only wanted to fly in the sim on real time, keep that synchronized if you want, right? It's just a handy little function that they threw in there. Handy, right? And that's kind of it, lads. It's the way I'm looking at this, it's a no thrills, no frills. It does exactly what it says in the tin. It just tracks your flights. I think with Volanta, it's sort of getting too cluttered, or at least that's my feeling of it, you know. This is relatively simple. Now, since I've started using this, I've only been using it for a couple of days. I reached out to the developers to say, lads, what are you working on? And they actually came back with a lot of information. They said they're working on a large quality of life update for the application. Hence, there's been a bit of silence on what's going on. They're busy, right? But what they want to get up and running within the next few months, they want to fully integrate virtual airline experience, no need for FSU IPC or other software, with the ability for virtual airlines to integrate into Elevateex, just like what they would use with virtual AMS, for example. It'll be a complete all-in-one package. That's interesting. The ability to hide the landing rate, such as landings because of bumps in the runway. They're going to have country and state for the US, challenges to fly to every state in the country, enhance real-time telemetry, gear, flap, and more. Statuses will be more visible on the public map. It'll make it interesting to see how people perform the landings in real time, such as the crab, thrust settings, and more. Flight replay, GSX profile scanning, Navigraph AMDB, basically airport charts like what you have in the FlyByWire and IniBuilds aircraft, so you can have an up-to-date layout to use for navigation. A VATSIM frequency switcher, switch to the correct VATSIM frequency with a click of a button, no need to look down and scroll. A mobile application, free of charge, planned for the end of this year, if not early next year. And the storing of personal data at a 1 second update rate. Currently only transmits this. It doesn't store this due to storage limitations. So they're going to be releasing an official roadmap in the next month or so with a more accurate kind of plan of what they're working on. They have a lot more planned, and a lot of these will be made public, or they won't be made public until it's closer to being done. So that's a shout out to Dan and also Ben, and there's some really nice folks over there. Chris as well was helping me out, and Kush. Just a nice bunch of lads, you know. They weren't like, oh, you have to say this or you have to say that. Just Murph, have a blast, see what you think. And it was pretty cool as well, because they reserved some of the names. So, right? I was like, oh, I can't register. They're like, yeah, no, we kept your name to one side in case you wanted it. Do you know? So I thought it was pretty good. It's all for free, yeah. Liptoria, 17 months, buddy. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers. How do they make money? It's not free for those. I don't know. Tima, I don't know. Like, I imagine they can possibly, I don't know how they make money at this. I mean, people are using it, so like they have a large community, right? And I'm sure there's people who support the project. They might go down the road of kind of premium features, maybe. I don't know, but at the moment, everything here is free. Everything on this is free. So you can download it. Go to elevatex.com. You can grab from the website. I'll give you a link in the chat. Because it's free, lads, I recommend give it a shot, see what you think of it. I mean, I had Volanta, and like it wasn't tracking flights to me, and I've had Volanta for years. I've been using Volanta for about 6 years, right? And yeah, I don't know. I should imagine future paid for features. It's probably venture backed. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I still think I think it's great. I think it's a great bit of kit, and it's free as well. And as I say, it's to me it's simpler. It's easier to navigate what's going on. You can hide stuff. You have options here. Share your flight. Auto saves are in there. You know, there's some nice stuff here, and you know, if you can go back, and they're gonna have flight replays put in here as well. Eventually, replay the flight, get more data of how it worked. But yeah, so far I'm really liking this, and like it gives you a lot of options here to kind of turn stuff on or off. If you don't want to see anything else on your map, you don't need to turn it all off if you wish. Do you know? And yeah, I think it's pretty good. It works really well. The map showing my custom scenery alone is dead useful. Yeah, that's a huge thing, Mr. Tippy. Because I'm a diva. Like if I just want to say, right, I'm in X-Plane now. Where's my X-Plane scenery? Right, well I have Dublin. That's all wrong, because that should be Shannon. I've Maastricht loaded in. I've Nice. I've Faro. And that's all I've loaded in for X-Plane. And then with Microsoft Flight Sim, that's all I have live in the community folder. And then I add to that. Do you know, I'll add more when I need it. Do you know what I mean? But no, I thought it was very, very good. And the fact we can add in, if you want to see other Elevateex aircraft, or if you just want to show VATSIM traffic, you can do all that as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if you want to add me as a friend, I'm down as TwoToneMurphy if you're on it, and we can track flights. So Paparazzi, for example, he's flying at the moment. Let's see, can we zoom into him? Go to active flight. So he's Firefly Air. Look, we can see it. His speed, his altitude. Let's zoom in on him. Focus, where is he? Okay, the focus button isn't working. He's there. Oh, there he is. So there's Paparazzi flying, right? So it actually was. We'll actually focus on him. I think the focus button needs a bit of work. We can see his travel distance, average landing rate, environmental. It's pretty good, right? If we can get a sectional layer on the map, as in VFR sectionals. I wonder, do they have that map? I'm not sure. Can we change the map layer? Preferences. Map. No. No. Not that I can see. Yeah, not that I can see. X-Rad. I like that now. I don't think Volanta has that. Did you say an Android app is in the works? Yeah, well, an app. I'm not sure if it's Android or Apple, but yeah, it's definitely in the work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think even Volanta has that. The X-Rad stuff or the sectionals. Volanta has VFR sectionals in there, 100%. But I think it's premium. So will you be stopping your Volanta account? I've stopped the premium account. Volanta now, that's owned by Orbex. I mean, they have developed that consistently for years, so I might hold off until they bring out their next update. But as I say, Elevateex, I'm enjoying this. I think it's simple, it's easy to follow. A couple of requests. Thank you very much, lads. Mr. Chippy's there as well. There's other things that, you know, Volanta had, like kind of groups and all this. I never used those features. And even the autosave function, it was handy like once, right? But no, I think have a blast of it. That's all I can say. Give it a download, see what you think, have a play around with it. If you're stuck with that, and let us know. They're very active on their Discord as well, and it's for free, right? So give it a blast and let me know what you think. Do you know? We'll see how it all goes. But that's going to be the story for this evening, lads. I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. Volanta is a subscription. No, you can use Volanta for free, but they do have premium features. They do definitely have premium features, do you know? So, yeah, I wanted to thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in, for the raids, the follows, the subscribes, all the gifted subs. It was quite mad tonight. Thank you all so very much indeed. And to Muse, Gibbo, and to Old Veteran helping us out here in the background as well. And it's gas, right? When I'm streaming, you know, the lads are actually at work behind the scenes. You never get to see them, but they're actually working, right? I'm a shite boss. I'm not even a boss. I'll buy them a pint, maybe, right? But I'm only joking. These things don't happen without the support that the three lads give, and Gibbo as well, correctly fact checking, and also the occasional mallet head Murphy slagging, right? It's brilliant. So thank you, lads, very, very much indeed. We're back tomorrow at some stage. I'll probably be on in the morning. I have a clear schedule tomorrow morning. And Jesus, Kippo. Yeah, I'll be on in the morning, lads. Let's call it 11 hours from now, give or take. And we'll be doing some flying somewhere with something for the sheer crack of it. Because tomorrow's Thursday, the day before Friday. And we have to do our VATSIM briefing for tomorrow night's flight as well. We're back in the 737 MAX, our final flight in that for a little while. And I'll probably be jumping on to the A321 for the following week from FS Labs. I'm looking forward to that. So, lads, thank you ever so much for tuning in and for sticking with us. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, we shall see you all tomorrow at some stage. Do take care. Don't panic. Just hope for the best, Murphy. Oh, Jesus. Don't end in all fear and terrible. Yep. Oh.
Bank angle. Pull up.
Shh. I rarely use this word when it comes to flight sim add-ons. I reserve it only for the special kind. But like, there's no point saying anything other than this is shite.